Oh my God. We're here on election day. It's going down. Oh my God. It's going down, guys. I'm wearing the cap. I'm wearing the red. I don't care. I don't know what side we're on, what side you're on. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. We're watching election results. We don't do this on this side. This is not a political channel. This is a legal channel. We've been really focusing on the YSL trial and all these things. But I thought it would be important for us to do something different. I did poll you guys. If you're joining, make sure you hit the like button. And real quick, let me know what news network you prefer. Because right now, there's a few. There's a few options. We can go with Fox, which some of you guys want to do. But if you vote Fox, people are going to be like, you're a Republican. If you vote CNN, people are going to be like, you're a Democrat. So we need to find a middle of the ground place where we can watch what happens today just for election results. I don't care if you like it. We know the news is not credible. Some of you guys come to me and lead for the YSL trial because you trust us more than the news. That happens. There is one news network that I will say kind of leans blue a little bit. But I've been watching these people for a long time. It's MSNBC. It's Kornacki Cam. Are we really not going to go to Kornacki Cam? Are we not going to do the Kornacki thing? I mean, it's Kornakalak. Like, he's a legend. He is a legend. Play the music, obviously. But guys, I mean, are we not ready? We need to see what's happening. A lot of results are coming in right now. We have projected results coming in from 7 p.m. They're late as hell, though. Like, that's not a surprise that they are late for 7 p.m. results. They're also late for 8 p.m. results. And they're also late for 9 p.m. results, which it's 9 p.m. right now on the East Coast. Let me know what state you guys are tapping in from. If you're in here from another country, let us know where you're coming in from. We need to come back to Kornacki. Steve Kornacki is a freaking legend when it comes to polling. You see this? You see the smart board thing? He's looking at every single state. He's looking at Georgia. He's looking at Georgia. You know what? I don't even care, guys. We need to see what's going on. So I'm going to let the boring election music rock out. We need to see what's going on. Michigan polls are closing at 9 o'clock. Atlanta polls should have closed at 7. So many polls should have closed. Georgia, look at that. They're looking at polls in Georgia. Douglas County is what you see on the screen. You're looking at different counties. Atlanta is super blue. Macon is a little blue. Columbus is a little blue. Savannah's a little blue. Augustus is a little blue. Everywhere else is red. This, my friends, is going to be an interesting night. Georgia, why are we focusing on Georgia? Well, it's a swing state. You guys also saw the Fani Willis, Nathan Wade thing go down in Georgia. And there has been a lot of speculation on if Georgia is going to have an ethical election. So far, so good. It looks like it has been ethical, and they've been doing everything and taking precautions to make sure that it is. Michigan, another battleground state. There's a few of them. Georgia being one of them. There's 3 more, and it can really switch the election. What are we watching on the bottom? I love this. I used to do this with my friends and family guys for 2020. And when we were all kind of on lockdown, and that was the last time that we voted. You see Alabama, 1% in. Look at that. Make sure you pay attention to what you're seeing as you want to see the percentage of the results that are in. It can always change. Pay attention to the bottom right-hand corner of your screen where it says Road to 270. What does that mean? That means that there are 270 votes in the Electoral College, which is how a president is elected. So I know there's a lot of things moving on the screen right now, but pay attention to that bottom right-hand corner. Right now, it does say 30 blue for Kamala and 154 for Trump. The polls close. We're in different time zones across the country. They close at certain times, usually per hour, because you have West Coast time, you have Midwest time, you have East Coast time. Right now, you're seeing a lot of red, 154 for Donald Trump. But just know that Kamala Harris herself is from California. She has a lot of support on the West Coast, a ton. So even though there's 270 votes, right? You need that. And we take away the, what was it? I want to get the exact approximate number per this time. I think it's 150 at this hour. I mean, let's just type in 150. I want to get the right number. However, that's huge. You know, we don't talk about this enough, but there are different types of votes that are important. You and I, as civilians, we have a popular vote, right? The popular vote matters, but what really gets a president elected is their electoral vote. And that means there's a certain amount of votes that every state, depending on the size and population of that state, can delegate towards the national vote, which is the Electoral College. Rhode Island is one of the tiniest states. Now imagine if Rhode Island had, 100 Electoral College votes. It wouldn't really be fair. It's a tiny state with a very tiny population. We can't have them have that. So depending on the population of every state has to look at what that Electoral College vote would be. So right now, Trump has 154. And the total is 270 needed to win. And he has 154 right now. So looking at 116. But remember, we're on the East Coast. It's 9 p.m. on the East Coast and it's 6 p.m. on the West Coast. So there's still a lot that needs to happen tonight, right? So again, if you guys are just tapping in, pop in into the poll. Let me know. I want to go to different news outlets. I don't want to be biased. Like, I want to go to all of them and see what everyone is reporting and going from there. But we are seeing things being projected. So for example, look at Kentucky. Kentucky gives you 8 electoral college votes, and that was projected as Trump as the winner. Some of these are very tight. Look at Maine. Maine, for instance, I'm by Maine up here in the north. Maine is at 8,000. Maryland, 10 electoral college votes. Projected winner is Kamala. So you can see that. Kornacki, I like him because they go into, not even him, but just MSNBC with this. They do a pretty good job at zooming in to the counties to get a better read on what happens. What you can see is that around different major cities across the United States, that's where you're going to see a focus on, you're going to see a lot of blue. That happens because a lot of colleges are in those areas. Nothing wrong with that, but I just kind of want to explain the data to you guys a little bit more. In rural areas and in suburbs, you might see some more red support, and that's okay. But I just wanted to explain what we're seeing. So, want to be fair tonight, because if this is going to go off the rails if we're not. But so many of you guys earlier, as we were going through the YSL trial, expressed having an interest in having a watch party in this. I am going to unmute because I want to see what's happening. Hopefully it's not music, but let's see what they're talking about. They're talking about North Carolina, which I believe is another swing state. Nope, it's music. So we're going to switch. But North Carolina is another swing state this year. There's a few. So we have, I believe, Michigan, Georgia, North Carolina, and one more. It might be Pennsylvania. What is a swing state? A swing state is usually a state that can go between a Democratic vote, majority Democratic vote, and a Republican vote. But remember, right now, Georgia is still too close to call. They are literally off by 300,000 votes. They're still not 100% in. Look at North Carolina, it's only 40% in. What does that mean? That means that they are not done counting the votes. And it looks like Kornacki's talking. Let me see if I can catch him.
In North Carolina, right outside Charlotte, this county right here, Union County in red. It's a core suburban Republican county, and it's one of those. It's gigantic, first of all. And second of all, it's one of those where Trump still won it in 2020, but he lost ground. Key question tonight, would he lose further ground? That's what Democrats are trying to do in Union County. We basically got all the vote in Union County now. You can see Trump, that's about a 25.5-point margin. Compare that to 4 years ago, Trump won it by 24. So no, Trump did not lose ground. In fact, he gained back a little bit here in Union County. That is what his campaign wants to see. They did not want any more slippage. You can go next door from Union County and you see another trend that I think we're starting to see pretty clearly in North Carolina. And I'll show you that now. This is Anson County. Again, just about complete. This is a rural county with a large black population. And one of the concerns for Democrats was they believed the turnout in recent elections among African Americans in these rural counties has been lower than they need. You know, when Barack Obama ran and won the state in 2008, he did very well, won a lot of these counties. The question was, would Democrats improve in these counties tonight? What they've said about the ground game, maybe having Harris at the top of the ticket, thinking this might help them. So you see it right here. This county looks like it's going to flip. Joe Biden won this by 4 points 4 years ago. Now Donald Trump, with just about all the vote in, is ahead by 3 in Anson County. Again, rural, large African-American population. A lot of counties that are similar to that are here in the eastern part of North Carolina. And again, we're starting to get most, if not all, the results. Vance County here, large, rural, African-American heavy population. Biden won it by 19 tonight. Harris, just about all the vote in, is winning it by less, only 12 points right there. You can go next door to Warren County, 26 for Biden tonight, 20 for Kamala Harris, just about all the voted. I think you might be starting to see the pattern here. Bertie County, majority African-American, rural. Biden, 21.5 points 4 years ago. Tonight, about 17 points. Still a little bit to come there, but Harris behind the Biden number so far. You could look down at Martin County. Again, large black population. Trump 5 4 years ago. Tonight, 13, with about 20% more to come. That's the pattern we're seeing very clearly, I think, in these rural counties with significant African-American populations where turnout and support level was a concern for Democrats. One thing you have to add in a lot of these counties, too, is that it may not just be turnout. There is also declining population in a lot of these counties, too, that might be affecting Democrats as well. But again,
okay, so I'm going to mute it because we're hearing a lot of trigger words. Battleground states. Georgia, North Carolina, Michigan, Pennsylvania. We're hearing some words. I know I have a lot of people of color in this community that watch. And here's the thing. All of you guys are like, hey, what news networks? This is why I have a poll pinned to our chat right now. I want to just peruse around all of the news networks to see what they're saying and go from there. Shout out to Mike Esco, who's like, you might as well say colored people. You know, I think what it does is it really enables people to see how powerful their vote is. You know, women didn't have the ability to vote, you know, a few years ago, a couple decades ago. It's very new. People of color in this country didn't have the opportunity to vote. And that includes Hispanics, Asians, things of the like. Now, I just want everybody that's watching to just listen to certain things, and you guys are already picking up on it. I like MSNBC for the data, but to make this stream fair to everybody, we are going to go to all of the networks to see what each network is saying as we are tallying this up. Keep in mind, it's very early in the night. It's 9 p.m. Usually these things are called by midnight, 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. If not, we will have some states that are going to have some problems. All 50 states probably will not have everything in tonight. But I'm going to be here for a little while. I'm excited to hang out with you guys so we can look at the projections and see how every news network is reporting. That is a little bit of fun. It is a little bit of fun. And yes, shout out to Mixed Chick. We are trying and attempting, not even attempting. We will be respectful and have fun and inclusive tonight. I don't care what side you're on. I really don't. Pick a side. You have to. I did. And sometimes you got to go to the ballot box and people are looking at you. You got to put your vote in. Hold on, I'm going to hide you for a second, Sammy. And in Atlanta, they're like, are you going to do the right thing? What? You know, I want to vote with my side on here. I don't want you to see what I did. But like you get that pressure. We get it up from our families, from our friends, from our social circles, those sorts of things. So we just want to keep it light tonight. Have fun. Let's go back to Kornacki. Kornacki the daddy. Women love Kornacki apparently. Let's go in. It looks like we're talking about North Carolina a little bit, Alabama. There's also this big wave of people that moved from the north, like myself in the age of COVID, to the south. It doesn't mean that you're going to have a blue vote with that, even though you're coming from a blue city. So keep that in mind too. But let's listen to what they're reporting on.
All the 100 in North Carolina, this is the one that swung the most to Democrats in the last election. Again, right outside Charlotte. It's growing. It's diversifying. It's pretty quickly diversifying. So again, you can see Democrats want to make further progress. Trump won this thing by almost 20 in 2016. And again, look at that. It came down to single digits in 2020. This is another test tonight. This is a place where Democrats want to really keep that momentum going early, but that's when we're going to keep an eye on there. But again, you can see those trends. Trump in the big suburban test outside Charlotte, I'd say he probably passes that test in Union County. And the Democrats so far in these rural counties with large black populations, not getting what they hope for there. Still to come, though. We want to see how Wake finishes. We want to see Mecklenburg, the triad. You got Greensboro. We don't have a ton here. In Greensboro, Forsyth County, where Winston-Salem is. So still a bit more to come there. And then Georgia, look, 70% in now. Trump continuing with an advantage here. It's about 243,000 votes. And we are getting a lot more clarity in the metro Atlanta area. A couple of things. We talked about this. Democrats wanting to improve margins here. That's what they need to do. Cobb County is a place, where this was a Republican stronghold not long ago, where Democrats are running up the score lately. You see what happened in 2020. Biden won here by 14 points. Currently, 78% of the vote is in. Harris, this is the early vote likely. Harris is winning here by 16. The concern for Democrats is the remaining vote, we suspect, is that election day vote, a little bit more Republican friendly. 16 would be a very good margin for Democrats in Cobb, but does that come down? If it falls below that 2020 level at all, that's very alarming for Democrats. Fulton County, again, we've got the early vote in here and now some of the same day as well. Look at that. It looks exactly like it did in 2020. Democrats want to grow that a little more. Again, concern for them.
All right. This is important. This is Fulton County. All right, let me make myself small. These are Fulton County numbers reported by Kornacki Cam and MSNBC. And again, I'm not saying that it's not accurate, but let's look at the data. 78% in. And let's look at the numbers. 72% for Harris. So 318,000 votes for Kamala Harris. And then on the bottom, you have 116,000 votes for Trump. Still very sizable numbers for both parties. Now, what you see on the right-hand side, where it says 2020, I want you guys to pay attention to that, because what we do is we always go to the previous election and we look at the prior two candidates and how they turned out. So if a county is historically blue or is historically red, it means that people that live there probably still live there within a 4-year period and will historically vote the same way unless there are drastic changes. Now, the thing is about Georgia, you have to look at where the states or where the cities are. And those are highly populated areas that are let's just say mixed or, with demographics. When you go to the rural parts, it does get a little crazy. It's a little crazy. Now, Lee just told me that. He showed me that. I have explored in Georgia a little bit, maybe not as much in a year that I can be able to tell you guys I know the state in and out. I could tell you I know Massachusetts in and out, but I cannot tell you that I know Georgia in and out. But look at the colors. It's very red outside of urban areas or, areas with cities and things of the like. There are some counties that are a little bit different as far as the cultural makeup and things of the like. I do like to talk about this stuff because, when you're watching the news, we can't have a little sidebar like this. We can't really talk about it like this. But this is what happens in our living rooms as we're watching these things with our families, especially in the age of COVID in 2020. I think that was the last time in the United States of America that many people had an opportunity to vote. And in 2020, COVID was running rampant. We had protests across the country. We were extremely divided. But 2024, you don't have to keep a mask on. You can come outside. You can talk a little bit. You can have these things and know that we're going to protect our environments too. This is not a politically charged place. We just want to show you guys the results tonight and go from there. But there are politically charged places and there are racially divided places. There are emotionally charged places when it comes to certain things that have happened with these elections. Doesn't mean we need to do it tonight. But I just want to be able to, when I was sitting with my family, this is what I would say. I'd be like, hey, you person, cousin Tyshawn, pause it. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about why, the people that are really blue focused are like, well, there's not enough blue. And I'm like, well, here's why. Or people are like, there's not enough red. Well, here's why. And if you really look at these numbers, let's look at where it says 78% in and then look down. That's really not a big difference in numbers. I mean, it is, but it's not. If the entire state has a population of, I don't know, over 1 or 2 million people that voted, and you have 78% of that vote that has come in, you have to remember that mail-in ballots are going to be counted first. Early voters are going to be counted first. The people that voted today, they just shut the doors at 7 p.m. But Georgia is a swing state. And that's why there's so much look at this. It could really swing things. And I'll tell you guys, even just being there on Friday, I had went to a polling place in Buckhead because that's where I resided. And I saw signs, went through, homes, neighborhoods in Buckhead, coming through the airport. Coming from there, a little Tesla joint, taking me to the polling place. It's the first thing I did after getting off of the plane. And you see some beautiful homes, beautiful real estate in that neighborhood. And I can tell you, it seemed divided. When you're a homeowner, a lot of people put who they're voting for outside of their house. You will have like a little sign. Now, the Trump campaign did something I thought was interesting. What they did, and I think they did it as a package. It's like you don't just get one sign. It says Trump, Vance, we're going to fix the border. We're going to fix crime. We're going to fix this. We're going to fix that. We're going to fix something else. It was like 5 things. So if you drive by a house that has those campaign things outside, you're going to see 5 signs. Excellent marketing. Do I agree with everything? No. Excellent marketing, though. As a business person, I can tell you excellent marketing. Now, you're going to see a lot of Harris Waltz signs, but I wish the Harris campaign thought of something kind of cool like that, because all of this, what a vote is marketing. So if you drive by the Trump house, you're seeing red, blue, red, blue. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix this. It's like he's telling you in 5 or 6 ways how he's going to fix something quickly. And I was thinking about that. I was like, damn, we've had Republicans and Democrats in this country for centuries. Why didn't anybody else think about having multiple signs as a package? Let's go back to Kornacki Camp, and we're going to switch to another outlet to see what we see. But Georgia is so important, and I can tell you, just driving through Georgia on Friday, you could see how tight it is. A lot of Kamala supporters, ton of Kamala supporters, but also a pretty tight Trump support level as well. I will say outside of the cities, probably more, but in the city, you see a huge turnout for Kamala. Let's keep going.
Big blue county, but if what's still to come in Fulton is a little less blue and that number slips below 2020, that's a trouble sign for Democrats. We flagged Fayette County early in the night. Would this one flip? If the blob, I call it the blue blob there, was going to expand, this is the place. It's not quite all in, but almost all in right now. You see Trump with a 2.5-point lead. Now, that is progress for Democrats from 2020. This was a 7-point race in 2020, so it's progress for Democrats. Will it be enough progress? Again, those other big, giant suburban counties there are going to tell a lot of that story. We finally have a little bit in Gwinnett County. I just want to linger on this one for a minute because it's enormous. This county has over 1 million people. It is transformed demographically in the last generation. This used to be a staunchly Republican, heavily white county. It's now one of the most diverse in the country. Democrats, you can see Biden won here by 18 points in 2020. And again, the Democratic margin here, it's just been, look at this. In 2016, it was a single-digit race. It became almost 20 in 2020. Democrats want this over 20 tonight. Let's see. It's early there, but that's a key one just because of the size and because of the trajectory. So again, oh, and we can also just take a look. I said these sort of exurban fringe Atlanta metro counties that are red. The question here is, do they become less red? The biggest of them is Cherokee County, and we got almost all of Cherokee County now. This is where Canton, Georgia is, one of the wealthiest counties in the state of Georgia here. Take a look. This is what happened in 2020. Donald Trump won here by 39.2 points. Tonight, he's winning it. You could see almost the same, as about a 0.3 of a point off. The Trump campaign, let's see here. They don't want big slippage. There's not big slippage. I think they would have liked to claw back a little bit more here, but they're not losing ground. And there are scenarios where that's enough for them in Georgia. You can look next door. Is Forsyth County. Now, this is another. This is very wealthy. This is a biggie you can see in terms of votes. This is a place where Trump lost substantial ground in 2020. Now, bulk of the vote is in. Same day still to come, so room for Trump growth here. He's already overperforming a point from where he finished in 2020. That's an encouraging one for Republicans. You can just kind of complete this loop quickly. I'll just show you some of them here. Again, Hall County is one, almost all in. Trump had slippage here in 2020. You see, he's improved by about 1.5 points here. Not major, but this was a state that was decided by a fraction of a point in 2020, so any shift is significant. Barrow County, almost all in. Again, Trump had slippage here in 2020, a little bit more slippage here tonight for Trump. You can see Harris running 1.5 points better than Biden did. Trump basically level with 2020. And you can take a look down here at Walton County. Again, this is the early vote in Walton County. Trump had slippage here in 2020. 49 points, believe it or not, was slippage for the Republican. Tonight, 46. This is the early vote. Again, same day. Does it get back to 49? Does it get back to 50? That's what Trump wants with the remaining vote there. I think we've got just about all of Douglas County in right now. And again, Douglas County, it's one of these demographically, it's fast growing, it's transforming politically, it's diversifying. And you can see here, Democrats, it looks like in Douglas, have achieved what they want to do here. Biden won this thing by 25 points in 2020, just about all in. Now Harris has it north of 30 points. That is something Democrats want to see there. So again, we zoom out statewide. It's a 6-point lead right now. We could also check in if you want. We could just take a look. We've got them marked off on here. I'll show you. This is, we were talking about this in North Carolina, same in Georgia. There's a lot of rural counties with large African-American populations. And the question for Democrats is, can they improve? They'd like to improve turnout-wise, vote performance-wise, obviously, relative to last time. So again, I think we showed you earlier, Baldwin's just about all in. This is a change. This was a blue county in 2020. It's flipped over to Trump. All the vote is in right now. Look, you can see here, Wilkes County, just about all the vote is in. Trump by 17. Trump won this thing, by about 13 points and change in 2020. So we're, seeing a bit of what we saw in North Carolina, Randolph County, very small, but a lot of this is in right now. Biden won it by 9 in 2020. It's sitting there at about 8 points right now. What's left to be reported out in Randolph County is going to be that same day vote. We're seeing this in a fair number of these counties, too. It's a bit similar, I think, to what we're looking at to what we're seeing so far in North Carolina. Here's another one, very small. But again, this is a large black population, 19 points here in 2020. Tonight it's sitting at about 16 and a half with just about all the votes. And again, these slight differences in a state like Georgia can make all the difference. We have all these millions of votes. We expect about 5 million votes. And in 2020, it was separated by 12,000 of them. So again, if there's any slippage for Democrats here off that 2020 number in full, that's a very bad sign for them. And they are at right now. Harris is at 72.6. This is the biggest single county in Georgia, 72.6, 72.6. If this number starts dropping with the remaining vote, with that remaining same-day vote to come in, even though that looks like an enormous Democratic win, and by numbers it is, it may not be enormous enough. The Democrats don't want any slippage there. So we'll be paying close attention to that one too, Rachel, as we get more from Georgia.
In Fulton County, we still need I think we need 29% of the votes to still come in statewide, but a little bit over 20% in Fulton County itself. I know that we're focusing on Fulton County, guys, but good reason, because Fani Willis, of course, herself is running for DA. So I'm super interested in those results as a person that has had a crime committed against them while living there for a year, and we're tough on crime. I am curious. I want to know where my tax dollars went. I want to see what happened with YSL. Young Thug is out of jail. I want to see all of it. As a voter. That is important to me, but I don't want to project. It's not projecting. I'm sharing, but I'm showing you guys what I'm interested in as a voter. All of you are going to have different interests, whether it's healthcare, whether it is taxes, whether it is real estate taxes, whatever is important to you. All of us have unique needs as a voter that we think about when we go to the polls. Huge shout out to the Little Gaming Channel with 20 says, because Black folks normally vote Democrat, these Dems think that they can take that for granted. Times are changing and people actually want something for their vote. No more voting just for color and for that first. Hashtag ADOS. I think that's important. And, we can even shift it with different topics and have intellectual conversations about it. I recently finished law school, guys. Most people finish law school in their late 20s. I finished it in my early 30s. One thing that most people do is you take out student loans. And a big part of the Democratic message is forgiving student loans, not just some of it, a big portion, because we incentivize Americans to go to school and get higher education. You're going to come out with a shit ton of debt, but we're going to make it right so you can pay us back for that. We want productive members of society. For the younger generation, student loans is a hot topic, but this is what TLGC means. Many of us vote for our own interests. We're all coming from different generations and different ages. Different things that are important to you. Women, you hear things where the Supreme Court changed some things when it comes to rights, and you might hear that and you're like, I'm done. But at the same time, if we look at the legalities of it, you're like, I'm still done. And it's just like, okay. People are like Project 22. What are we doing? We're spending a lot of time on MSNBC in the chat right now. Let me know what news network you want us to go to next to see what's happening and the projections. There's that freaking music. Oh, we got something from Pennsylvania. What's up, Pennsylvania? What are we doing? More music. False alarm. Wait. What do we got, Cornack?
Yeah, and again, the story in Pennsylvania, as we say, most of the state is going to be Democrats putting up giant numbers in these counties, and then Trump, that's with the mail vote, and then Trump with the same-day vote trying to chip away at that and reverse it. Now, this one we flagged at the start of the night, so I want to check in on it. Lackawanna County, where Scranton is. This is one of the most complete counties. It is not complete yet, but it's one of the most complete we have so far in Pennsylvania. About 80% of the vote is in right here, and this is following exactly that pattern. The mail vote was reported out quickly here. Harris had a gigantic lead with that, and with every update since of the Election Day vote, Trump has been chipping away at it, and you're at 80% right now in, so more to come. And again, this is a key county, I think, once we get full results here to understand where this might be going, because this is what we're looking at. In 2016, Donald Trump, this was a huge gain for Republicans. They used to get absolutely flattened here. Donald Trump only lost this county by 3 points and change. In 2020, Joe Biden, Scranton native, got it up to almost 10. And the question is, this is winning for Democrats statewide. This or anything less than that gets very shaky for Democrats statewide. So where tonight is this going to land? Right now, if you froze the election here and you said that's it, Democrats would be thrilled with this number out of Lackawanna County. We need to see, though, with that remaining 20%, if it continues to come down and it ends up looking more like this or even closer than that. But that's the most complete we have right now of a big, substantial county in Pennsylvania. And that's what we're looking at there. And again, just a couple other things to flag. We don't have much. Erie County, we'll keep an eye on it because there's only 2 counties in Pennsylvania that actually swung between 16 and 20. 2 counties that went for Trump in 16 and then flipped to Biden in 2020. Erie County is one of them. We basically have no vote from there, but that's a bellwether county we want to be following as it comes in. And the other one is on the eastern side of the state here. This is Northampton County. Now we got about a quarter of the vote in here. A lot of this you could just see here. This is what it lets the mail-in vote. You see, Joe Biden won this thing narrowly in 2020. This was a flip. And again, this is the question now as the remaining vote starts to get tallied up and come in. Can Donald Trump get back to that number and beyond it? Can he flip this county? These are potentially bellwethers in Pennsylvania. By the way, Wisconsin, we started to get some results here out of Wisconsin, too. And I just want to show you, we said at the start of the night, bow wow. The bow counties, Brown, Outagamie, Winnebago, blue-collar counties, Green Bay, Appleton, Oshkosh. These are areas where Donald Trump lost some ground in 2020, still won them, wants to win it back. And wow, that's Washington, Waukesha, and Ozaukee. These are core Republican suburbs where Democrats have been gaining. Are the Democrats gaining more? So we do have now nearly 40% of the vote in the biggest of the wow counties. This is Waukesha County. And just to put this in some perspective, this was a bad showing for Republicans. Trump won Waukesha in 2020 by 21 points. But look, in 2016, Trump won it by 27. Go back to Mitt Romney. It was more than 2-1 Republican.
Waukesha is also home of Darrell Brooks. So that's probably why that name sounds familiar. Waukesha, the parade where Darrell Brooks barreled his vehicle through that lovely town and injured many, I believe over 55 plus people.
This was bad. This is one of the reasons why Donald Trump lost in Wisconsin 4 years ago. Now, the way the vote is coming out in Wisconsin tonight is the absentee vote. We may get absentee vote a little bit later from some of these counties. It's done at the municipal level, but there could be opportunities here for Harris to grow the support. This is not like Pennsylvania, where this is just all Republican gains later on. So we want to keep an eye on here because the Democrats want to get Harris over 40% in Waukesha. They want to keep making gains here. And so with 40% in, you're at about the 2020 level. And this is the other one. Ozaukee County, of all the counties in Wisconsin, this one has the second highest level of educational attainment. That is, people with college degrees. Democrats have been doing much better with this demographic. This showing for Joe Biden in Ozaukee County in 2016, I don't know why I did that, 2020, this showing for Joe Biden, he lost by 12 points, was the best showing for a Democrat in this county since Lyndon Johnson in 1964. So this is one tonight where you want to see if Harris is further improving on this, getting this down, into single digits, 5, 7, 8 points, something like that. So far, a little bit more than a quarter of the vote in. This would be a very good number for Democrats out of Ozaukee County. These suburbs right outside Milwaukee used to win Wisconsin for Republicans. Democrats have been eroding that support for Republicans. If they can do more, that's big for them tonight. And then there's this. About a third is in now in Dane County, and this is the mother lode of votes for Democrats. It has become this way in Wisconsin. It used to be that the Democratic coalition was very spread out in the state. Democrats could win dozens of rural counties with blue-collar populations. Trump came along. He's gobbled just about all of those up. So the Democrats are increasingly dependent on just running up the score. This is a massive county, Madison State Capital, University of Wisconsin, high-density suburbs here. And here's the thing in Dane County. Every election this century, Democrats have gotten a bigger and bigger margin out of here. This is where it landed in 2020. It's not just the margin, Biden winning this by more than 50 points. It's this. Biden, 260,000, Trump, 78,000. That's a margin of nearly 182,000 votes for Democrats out of this county. And again, if you went back to the turn of the century, Democrats were winning here by about 50,000 votes. Every 04, 08, 12, 16, 20, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Democrats want to get even more out of this tonight because, again, they're taking such hits in the rural areas of the state. Can they get this thing up to 190? Could they ever get this to 200,000 votes? Every time you think they've gotten the most they possibly can out of Dane, they get more. They're probably going to need more tonight. So, again, a third of the vote in there right now. Let's see that one as it starts to develop. But seeing that in Wisconsin overall now, again, 10% or so in statewide, a 13% now, and that's what you got in Wisconsin.
All right, we're going to switch from MSNBC soon. Probably go to Fox. All right. That's Kornacki Cam. Road to 270 in the corner. They're projecting that we have 62 votes, electoral votes for Trump. Hold on, let me go back. Okay, road to 270. You see it on the screen in the bottom right-hand corner. 168 electoral college votes for Trump, 81 electoral college votes for Kamala. Just know it's very early in the night. You need 270 to win. It could be extremely split, but it's very early. It is 9:41 p.m. in the East Coast. It's 6:41 p.m. on the West Coast. A lot of states are going to be projecting their results pretty soon. We're seeing some of them, but as you guys can see, even looking at the screen, shout out to Kelly Kell, but I'm going to take this down for a little bit. Look at Minnesota. 1% in, and they have 10 votes to add into the Electoral College. So there's going to be a lot. I do want to make this balanced, guys. So I want to check out other news networks. We're going to go to Fox. I know. Some of you guys are like, God damn, AV, are we going to Fox News? Yes, we're going to go to Fox. I just want to see what's going on. We're going to go to Fox News Atlanta, which is probably going to show Fox nationally. And it's okay. Just bear with us. Bear with us. We're going to go to all of the networks. We just came from MSNBC. Let's go to Fox just to see what's going on. Then after Fox, we can go and rotate. We can go to ABC. We can go to CNN. We can go around. I know people have their opinions about Fox, but let's just see what Fox is saying. That's it. Kornacki does a great job. I really do like Kornakalak. But we're going to share this tab instead. Let's see what they're saying. This is Fox 5 Atlanta. I'm coming from Atlanta, but they are going to bring us to Fox's feed.
Based on what we've been talking about for weeks and months. Did a lot of things wrong, but one thing they did, strategically well was go for that grow
Trump
vote.
has won.
One more point, adding to Juan's point. I want to give a shout out, Andy Kim, first Korean American senator from New Jersey, took on the New Jersey Democratic political establishment. The Bob Menendez, the Phil Murphy, changed the primary there and is going to be the first Korean American senator in the country. You know, some bright spots tonight for Democrats
And
already, even though there's a lot to go.
Little comeback story for Kelly Ayotte, right? She was a
That's
U.S.
true. That's true,
senator.
too.
She lost by like hundreds,
Yeah, right.
hundreds of votes,
Yeah.
and now she's going to be governor of that state.
Hey, so
Colorado
real quick
for
to you,
Trump, for
guys,
Harris,
on Georgia.
looks like.
We got 4,112,000 votes in so far. Trump is leading 52 to 46. There's probably
Kansas for Trump.
Maybe 1.4, 1.5 million votes left out
Louisiana
there
for
to
Trump.
count. I mean, Georgia is looking pretty good for Trump. 77% of the vote is in.
I agree that it's looking pretty good for
Damn.
Trump. I'll leave it at that. I'm not in charge of making any calls, but I think if I were a betting man, picking up on what Marie was saying, I would probably put a good amount of money on Donald Trump in Georgia right now.
All right. Well, much more to come. Our election night coverage continues. We're counting down to the next round of poll closings, about 20 minutes.
Meantime, take a live look at Detroit, where the vote counting continues. We
All
are
right,
still
Detroit.
waiting for a call in Michigan and several other critical states where the race is razor thin. So it's going to be a while, but keep it here because we've got
Going
all
in,
these-
guys.
If there's
Wow.
one thing we all
Oh,
have in
wait.
common in times like these is the tendency.
Hold on. We don't want any like plumbing commercials or anything like that. Just letting you know, we're going around to all the networks. It looks like Fox has called Ohio for Trump. Shout out to Variant. Variant, I will keep an eye on you because you have mentioned a few states that have all their votes are 100% in, guys. And that's the thing about election night. It's always fun because you see where things are. Shout out to Texas. Sequoia's in Texas. Texas isn't 100% in because Texas, I believe, is an hour or two behind us on the East Coast. Virginia's still coming in. It looks like Montana, Dior, your name has the state Montana in it. I thought you were in Montana. So it looks like Fox News is on a break. What are they doing on CNN? What are they doing? We can go to CNN. Where else do y'all want to go? I want to go everywhere. I want to go to all of these networks. 34% of you guys, it's the highest ranking network is Fox News and what they have to say. 34% of you guys say that. We went to MSNBC. It looks like we also want to go to CNN. So I'm going to see if I can pull up CNN right now. It looks like they're processing, or at least they're reporting what's happening in battleground states right now. Kornacki is the big, we might have to go back there. Kornacki has the biggest following. I'm a YouTuber, guys. There's 177,000 people in this chat. Everybody wants to see what Kornacki's doing. Look at him. Look at the intensity. Look at that. Look at that intensity. Georgia is almost 80% in. It looks like Virginia, West Virginia has been called. West Virginia looks like it. The projected winner is Donald Trump. For electoral college votes, not a lot. Wisconsin, 23% in. That is still coming. It's gonna be a long night, y'all. We might have a deep stream. Look at the country. We've got some red in there. You see how Kornacki does this? This is why everybody loves him. Texas, is Texas in? Wyoming, projected winner for Donald Trump. Wyoming is in. Not a lot of people that live there, but it's funny how they called it, and it's 2% of the vote, and that could be off of historical data. I did say Wisconsin. All right. I'm from Boston. This is what we do. All right. That's my Boston accent coming out. He does have battery packs. I mean, that's what it is. He has battery packs, Kelly Kell. Look at it. This is the thing about Kornacki. All right. Battleground states that are too close to call. They showed that. Let's go back there because I want to see that. Okay. Battleground states that are too close to call on the bottom of your screen. Georgia's too close. Wisconsin is too close. North Carolina, some of you guys told me that Trump won it, but it's too close. Pennsylvania, we know that it's too early. Arizona too early, Michigan too early. And then what's happening in Nevada? What is going on there? The ones that say too close versus too early. Georgia, Wisconsin. We know that there are some big things happening there. Georgia, we know, is a huge battleground state, but at the same time, Fani Willis's whole Rico charge against Trump was the last election. And he called and he said, hey, I just need 11,000 votes. Where are they? I know I have them. And then Trump got charged with the Rico. He got charged with the Rico. Let's keep going with seeing what's happening here. With Kornacki. Is he talking? He's calculating. He's looking at Pennsylvania right now. All of you guys that are in Pennsylvania, that's another thing. Let's talk about Pennsylvania for a moment. It is interesting because you have Allentown, you have Philly, you have Harrisburg, you have Pittsburgh. I believe when there was a last attempt on Donald Trump, it did happen in the state of Pennsylvania. So you have to think about that too. There's a lot of red there, lots of red in the outskirts, but at the same time, at that rally, a lot of these people were probably at that rally and witnessed what happened. And look at Florida, 90% in, but at the same time, sorry to raise my voice there, guys, but Donald Trump is a resident of Florida. Mar-a-Lago is in Florida, and he does a lot there. Georgia is now 79% in, almost 80. Almost 80. We'll see what's going to happen. But for Florida in itself, Trump is a resident of Florida. Wow, look at Illinois. Wow, look at Illinois, guys. 50% in, projected winner, Kamala Harris. Look at that. She just got a little bit of a bump from that one. Illinois, 50% in. Let's unmute here and see if he's still. I hate that music. So Illinois, 50% in. Projected winner. And you could see that huge bump there. Indiana projected winner, Donald Trump. Lots of states that still need to come in. Lots of states in gray, depending on time zones. Those will come in and we'll report them to you guys. 99 for Harris. Thank you, Carmen. But look at that. You know, we're really focusing on the states on the East Coast. Why, guys? Because the East Coast, it's 9:50 p.m. and it is likely that all of those states are going to have their outcomes, their results any moment now. The entire East Coast of the United States should be in soon. Louisiana came in for Donald Trump. I mean, that makes sense. Shout out to Nola. Look at the red. The Midwest is in. Most of the Midwest, not 100% in, but at least is giving us some projections. Maine, I'm surprised that Maine's not in yet. They're a little bit northwest to where I am sitting right now. That should be in. It's only 4 votes. 7% in Maine. Maine, is that? No, Vermont is where Bernie's from. Maryland, 60% in. Another East Coast state. Northeast for Kamala Harris. 10 votes, 60%. Massachusetts, the state I am sitting in right now, but did not allow me to vote here because I have a Georgia driver's license. So I flew to Georgia to secure my vote. But Massachusetts, I believe 11% in. That is likely to go blue. Like historically has always been blue. Like it's just going to happen. Don't even worry about Massachusetts. That's probably going there. Wisconsin back on the screen. Too close to call. They're going by county to see what's going on. You see a lot of red there. But always pay attention to the capitals, the cities. Those are very highly populated areas. Mississippi checking in. 23% in, projected winner, Donald Trump. We're seeing that. These are good times. This is why it's like 8 o'clock is slow. 9 p.m. is a little slow. Missouri projected winner, Donald Trump. Look at that, Missouri coming in. Middle of America. You're turning red. You're turning red. We see the blue wall coming back to Kornacki to see if we have any sound. We do not. Let's go back to Fox. Let me know if there's anywhere else you guys want to go. I need to find a good feed. Let me make sure that Fox is not showing us catheter commercials, and we'll just stay there. All right. Let's go back.
Court to dismiss it. That went on for a long time, and Trump finally pardoned him.
Right.
The difference is that came at the end of Trump's administration. This would call for Judge Chutkan to spin this out for 4 years. I don't know that she can.
Yeah.
And also keep in mind, we have another torpedo in the water. There is a pending opinion on that massive civil award that came out of the New York Attorney General's office. The appeal argument did not go well for her or
For prosecutors.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so the expectations is that Trump could eke out a victory there, maybe even a dismissal of the case, but certainly a great reduction. I have a feeling that opinion is written and that they've been
We're
holding
waiting for
onto
election
it.
day.
But that's going to come down probably
Maryland
not long
for
after this
Harris.
day is done.
Let me bring it back for a second, if I could, to election challenges.
Right.
And we had the ruling in Cobb County. Cobb wanted to allow ballots to be counted up until, I think it was Friday.
Massachusetts,
And then the state Supreme Court came in and
18%
said,
for
no, you
Harris.
can't do that. But it looks like those ballots, those mail-in ballots are going to be held aside. Their relevance really depends on what the margin of victory in
Always.
Georgia is going to be. But if it's something like 2020, those could become significant.
Yeah, it's always a difference between the potentially provisionally disputed ballots and the margin of victory. I think the one good thing we're seeing here, as Jonathan said,
It's a great point,
what we've
Michael.
seen so far, it seems to me, is that 2020 was almost like a fire
Popular
drill
vote,
for this,
Michael,
and
popular.
they're more prepared this time
Yeah,
than they
it
were
does
the
seem.
last.
It's
Well,
been
they do
much
seem to be.
smoother.
Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you
always
very much.
appreciate our legal
Thank you.
discussions. I always come away from these things somewhat smarter.
Me too.
Fox News Democracy 24 coverage of election night continues.
Up next, we're going to go live to Texas, where we just learned that Ted Cruz will hang on to his Senate seat. Stay with us.
Wow.
Find out
Oh,
what
here
your
we
guaranteed
go.
offer would be and receive the strongest.
This is what I mean about Fox. Like I'm doing it from their feed, but let's go back to Kornacki over here. See what's happening on the Kornacki cam.
For Democrats, we want to go back and look at Georgia
Everybody's
because,
focusing
again, and Joy was just talking about this, the suburban support for Democrats in this Atlanta metro area. Something interesting is happening. There are some suburban counties here. You call them kind of the emerging suburbs of the Atlanta metro area,
Almost done.
where the growth is the fastest and the diversification is the most dramatic. And that is definitely where Harris is posting improvements tonight. I think we showed you Douglas County a few minutes ago. Again, rapid growth here. It's about half black, and you can see in 2020, 25 points. Tonight, Harris is winning this by 32 points. You see it in Rockdale County. Just about all of the vote is in here. Biden got 70%. Harris has pushed that up to 73. This is a majority black county. You can go to Newton County here. You know, this was the tightest margin of all these Atlanta metro counties. This was
Guys, look at that map. We only have a few counties left in the state of Georgia. If you are watching from Georgia, type GA in the chat. I think we only have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Georgia is 93% in. You might have one of your first Battleground state results momentarily. Let's go. I am so interested to see this.
Was the tightest margin for a county that Democrats won almost all in 2020, almost all the vote is in. Harris has improved on it. You see this. You could take a look at Henry County. Almost 80% of the vote is in. Again, Biden won it by 20. Look at that. That's up to 30 or so for Kamala Harris. So the thing is, though, the counties I just showed you within this Atlanta metro region, relatively speaking, these are the lesser populated counties. The ones with the huge, the huge populations, you start with Fulton County. and we've been monitoring this. This is the biggest. Atlanta's here, but there's also a lot of suburbs within Fulton County. This is key for Democrats because of the sheer size of Fulton County. A drop of a couple points here would more than offset the gains that I just showed you in those other counties. 80% counted in Fulton County, and now you see Biden 72.6 in 2020. Harris has fallen a tick below that. Meanwhile, Trump 26.2 here in 2020 is a tick above his 2020 number. The concerning thing for Democrats here in massive Fulton County is with only 80% counted, there is still a significant, obviously, amount of same-day vote to come in. And you just saw, if you were watching earlier, this has gotten a little bit tighter. The Democrats have dropped a little bit since the last time we looked at this. That's because more same-day came in, and Harris fell below that Biden number. There's room for her to drop further here. And again, just 1-2 points in Fulton County offsets a lot of the good Democrats might have done themselves in those other counties I just showed you. So see what happens there. We also have, look at this, Douglas, Cobb County. We also have, look at this, getting close in Cobb County. Again, take a look at 2020 here. Joe Biden won this by 14 points. Now, right now, it's basically a 15-point margin. This is another one where that margin for Democrats was bigger earlier. It's come down as more same day has come in. And Cobb is a massive, massive county. Again, it's much bigger than any of those others that I just showed you. 82%, more same day to come. That's concerning for Democrats if it starts dropping below that. And then Gwinnett County, this is the one that's been the slow one here in the region tonight. We're still where we were. So there's sort of a division here we're seeing between these suburban and metro counties here. Again, there's some clear Democratic growth, but they don't want slippage in those big ones as the remaining vote comes in. And again, just checking in, we showed you Cherokee. These are the big Republican sort of fringe Atlanta metro counties. Here's one, Forsyth County, where Trump is clearly has improved, I should say, a bit from 2020, a point higher than 2020. You can go over to Paulding County, though. This is interesting. Again, core Republican area, fast growing. Dallas, Georgia is here. 29 points for Trump last time around, down to 24. So again, that's a feather in the Democrats' cap right there in Paulding County, bringing that Trump number down further. And finally, we close out on this. We're basically done in Fayette County. We ID'd this one at the start of the night as, look, if Democrats were actually flipping this, they are definitely having a good night in Georgia. Looks like they're going to come short. Harris has made progress here in his big suburban county here. Harris has made progress from 7 points, now sitting at 3 points. But is that progress enough for Democrats?
This is why I'm sorry, guys. I like Kornacki's intensity. Look at it. Look at his intensity. Like he is there. Oh, who just closed? Somebody just closed. Who just closed? Is that Nevada? We're going to Nevada. What y'all got, Nevada? No, that's Arizona. There's a few states closing right now. It's 10 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Standard Time. A lot of states are closing 7 p.m. on the West Coast. Arizona's coming in. Nevada's coming in. We might get some California numbers soon. We might get some Washington numbers soon. Election night is so exciting, guys. Who's coming in? Crystal says Nevada is blue. Shout out to Wrench Turner, who's like, the South's gonna rise again, boys. Listen, the music I tried to mute it, but you see how intense Kornacki is? Every election year I come to this guy because it's just like, what are we doing? We're going over here. I don't think he picks sides. He goes to data, he zooms in. I like this dude. I don't know why. But Georgia, guys, Georgia, 90% in. Whatever states we're due in at 7 p.m., I think we're going to have clearer results. Georgia being one of them. We just saw the map, y'all. The map is pretty much red, except for Atlanta, except for Savannah, except for where the places where the cities are. They are blue. But here's the thing. There are higher populations there, so you have to be balanced and see what comes in. Some of y'all are like, AV Fani won. I'm fact checking that. We are going to see. We're going to pop around to other streams too. This is This is what? This is Fox News. This is boring. You know, look at Bernie. Is Bernie still? Is Bernie still in there? Like, how old is Bernie? God damn. How old is Bernie at this point? They are showing Senate projections. Dare I say it? Do we go to CNN? Here's CNN. They're looking at ballot rooms in CNN. I want to see like good stuff, you know? Let's go back to Fox. Fox Atlanta. Oh, we're in Buckhead. Hold on. Did Georgia? Oh, shit. Oh, shit, guys. Oh, shit. I'm gonna Gail is texting me and saying that you guys can't hear that, so I'm gonna try this again. Hopefully this works now. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear this now. 1. Thank you, Siri. Okay. You still can't hear it. You still can't hear it. Okay. Okay, you guys can't hear that for some reason. I don't know why. We're going to come back over here and I'll try to fix it. We'll come here instead. I'm going through a bunch of different tabs. Thank you, Gail. Thank you to everyone that's been letting us know. What that was, the reason why I kept saying, oh shit, is because there's a Republican Party happening in Buckhead, and there's also a Fani Willis a party happening in Buckhead as well. I'm going to hit unmute, and we are just going to rock with YouTube because when you use browsers, that's why you hear those issues. I was using Fox 5 Atlanta, and because I'm using their browser, that's why it was muted. I'm going to come back over here to Kornacki so we can see what's going on. Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear the Kornacki cam. If you can hear the music that we cannot stand. Can't hear? Can you guys hear him? No, you still cannot hear. All right. Gonna refresh. Build it as you fly it. Okay, I'm back. I hope you guys can hear me now. I'm gonna try one more time. One more time. It always sucks when you have live stuff going on and things happen. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, then I'm gonna have to end the stream. Let's see. Guys can't hear me or the video. You can't hear me or the video. It's terrible. This is such an important night. You can't hear shit. Oh no. This is so embarrassing. How do you have an election night and you can't hear Kornacki or me? Oh. Maybe it was Fox. Anyway, I kept saying, oh shit, because something happened in Georgia. If you guys can't hear me, I'm just going to pretend like you're still there and you can hear me. Let's figure out what just happened in Georgia, because allegedly it was huge. Did the state go red? Did the state go blue? Georgia election results. Oh, shit. Damn. Okay, so while Kornacki is back there, I'm going to just pause him for a second, and we're going to come over here to this tab. I hope you guys can hear me. These are national election results that are reported live by Google. Arizona, it's not in just yet, 34%, and we're at 49% vote for Trump. Florida is confirmed at 56% for Trump. That's at 96% reporting. One of you guys was here mentioning that. So thank you so much. Florida is in. We can confirm that. Thank you to Florida. Georgia, 81% in, guys. Let me make myself small. Take this down. Georgia's 52% reported for Trump. Michigan, 17% in, looking like Kamala. North Carolina is 52%. That's tight though. North Carolina is almost done too. Look, we only got 1, 2, 3, 4 counties left in North Carolina. You guys are Trump is leading North Carolina right now at almost 70% of reporting. Wow. Pennsylvania is 50%. That's too early to call, I believe. Pennsylvania is at 49%. Wisconsin is at 50% Trump. A lot of these things are coming in for Trump. Let's look at results expected soon. Nevada looks like they're coming in soon in a few minutes. But wow. We're going to go back to the Kornacki cam, see what's going on over here. This is interesting. What will it be? Yeah, Nevada's got some time. We've got a ton of time in Nevada. Georgia's almost done. North Carolina's almost done. Yeah, thank you, A Dog's Life. We're doing something different. They're probably going to get mad at me for using this music. But whenever Steve comes back, I will turn it back up. This is just interesting to watch and to see what states are in so far, what states are reporting so far. But overall, right now, there's a bunch of votes coming in. It's so early to call, but these are the things that we're watching throughout the day. We're looking at live results. Every state is reporting it differently. A lot of people have voted early. I myself voted early because I couldn't mail it in, so I had to physically go there. That was fun. Dub right side, Dubby, did you vote? Did you vote? We're hanging out with Steve Kornacki. And we're looking at some pretty important states here. Mars is saying that they need 72.
Yes,
oh,
and this is how it
shit.
goes in
What's
Arizona. They
happening?
get to that 10 o'clock Eastern hour, and suddenly what you get out of, remember here, Maricopa County, that's what you're looking at right here where Phoenix is, more than 60% of the vote in the entire state is in here, and Maricopa County all at once releases this, more than half of its vote. Now, let me tell you what you're looking at here, because if you remember from 2020, the story in Maricopa and in Arizona is very distinct buckets of votes that come in at different times and that have very different looks in terms of which party they favor. What you get first and what you're looking at in Maricopa County, this is all of the in-person early vote, and this is all of the absentee, the mail-in vote that was received by last Friday. So that is what you get first here. That's what you're looking at. What will then happen in Maricopa County over the next few hours is they will count up the same day vote, the folks who went and voted today. That's typically a Republican-friendly batch of voters. So you'll see in the next few hours, these numbers change, and then you will have the majority of the vote in Maricopa County will be in, and then we will wait. Because every night now, going through the week, they're going to work through the rest of that vote by mail, the stuff that came in on Saturday, on Sunday, but stuff that was dropped off today. There's still a lot of that to come. But as a starting point, if you compare this to 2020, when this number came out in 2020, Joe Biden had a high single-digit advantage over Harris in that initial batch in Maricopa County. If you remember, the story in 2020 all week was Trump trying to play comeback in Arizona. This is his starting point now in Maricopa. Also, the other big population center in Arizona.
Oh my God. Arizona doesn't play. They're like the state is lighting up as we go. Like they're reporting as we go, guys. So that's actually really good. Texas, you guys are 71% in. You're almost coming in. South Carolina just reported. Oh my God, it's starting to come in fast, guys. This is great. 51% in Arizona. I'm flying down there this weekend. Let's go.
This is Pima County, where Tucson is. This is the more Democratic of the two big counties here. Again, basically the same deal. You've got this initial batch here that's half the vote. Again, Biden, you can see where he ran here in 2020. You can see what Harris is getting right now. But what will still be coming out later tonight in Pima will be that same day vote. So we'll see how that affects the count. And again, in Arizona, if we get through tonight and this thing is still very, very close, you're kind of locked in probably for a few days of results just because of that pace where once a night you'll kind of get updates from these counties. So the question here obviously is if somebody gets a clear advantage, this is the statewide number right now, half the vote has been counted out. We'll see in the coming hours if there's clear separation between these candidates at all. Otherwise, it could take some time there in Arizona. I want to return to Pennsylvania because I think we've got a pretty big development here in part of the story we've been following all night. We have been flagging Lackawanna County, big one where Scranton is, heart of Northeast Pennsylvania, a very contested region.
God, Pennsylvania, y'all are down to two. Y'all are down to two counties. We have two more left in Pennsylvania. This is huge, guys. It is leaning red, but look at how close that margin is. Let me take you down for 1 second, TLGC. Look at how tight that margin is. They both have 1.7 million I say views because I'm a YouTuber. Million votes. That is so tight. It is too close to call in the state of Pennsylvania, where Donald Trump almost had an attempt on his life. Kamala Harris comes from the Biden administration that has ties to Pennsylvania. It is always been a swing state, not always, but more recently. This is huge. We have, it says 50% in. So this is why it's strange, because if you look at the screen, you only see two more counties that need to report for live voting today. This includes mail-in voting. This includes early voting. Early voting should be counted already, but I think this is a state that has a ton of mail-in voting. Weird, but not surprising. Let's keep going. And that being said, real quick, I do want to shout out the Little Gaming channel, who drops me a 10 and says, put a 1 in the chat if you, your mama, your grandmother, or your great-grandmother wash greens in the bathtub. I myself, TLGC, have to put a 1 in the chat. That has happened. That has happened. I probably helped one of them. Let's keep going.
Region here politically, and the question has been, what would this land at? And you're now basically looking at it. This is probably it in Lackawanna County. And Kamala Harris is going to, this is where Scranton is. Kamala Harris, you see, winning this by 3 points over Donald Trump. But remember, we were using this as a gauge because in 2020, Joe Biden won this by 8.5 points, won the state. In 2016, Donald Trump lost this only by about 3.5 points, 3.4 points. This was a winning combination for Donald Trump. He won the state. This was a losing combination for Donald Trump. Tonight, at 3.1 points, his loss here in Lackawanna County is actually a little bit less than the 2016 margin. This was one of our key questions in Pennsylvania tonight. Would Donald Trump get back to his 2016 level in a big blue-collar county like this? Because there are a lot of big blue-collar counties like this throughout the contested northern tier of the battleground. This I'm flagging for you because we said it at the start of the night. We'd use this as a bellwether also because this is now the complete one. We've been looking for complete counties. We've got a complete county here. So that's what it lands at right there. That was the question we asked. We now have an answer. Luzerne County, another biggie. Again, this is all big blue-collar counties, northeast Pennsylvania, slowly getting that same day, that election day vote counted up. Trump's lead now is 11 points. This is where Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania is. He needs to hit this number and probably surpass it. So keep an eye as this remaining vote comes in. But like Lackawanna, that's what we're looking at. One other thing to note here. Now, look, half the vote is in. Philadelphia County is the same thing as Philadelphia City. They're the exact same thing. So that's what you're looking at here. We got half the vote in. And you see, Harris is going to win this thing in an absolute landslide. The question in Philadelphia has been the margin, because what we saw in 2020 was ever so slightly, even as Democrats won the state and improved on 2016, Joe Biden actually lost a little bit of ground in Philadelphia. And a reason he lost a little bit of ground in Philadelphia was Donald Trump performed a little bit better in some heavily Hispanic parts of the city. So the question, another key question tonight has been, do Democrats win that back? Do they win back the ground they lost? Do they lose further ground? Now, you can see Biden won Philadelphia 81-18, essentially, in 2020. And right now, it's 79-20. The key is this, as they count up, I keep saying the same day vote. I'm saying that because we know the same day vote is favoring the Republicans a bit. So when I say they're tallying up the same day, there's an expectation there that it's the best numbers for Trump that are still being tabulated right now. The twist in Philadelphia, though, is they still have tens of thousands of vote-by-mail ballots. And we expect at about midnight that they're going to release that second batch of vote-by-mail ballots. So as we get closer there, we're going to follow this and see if Trump can maintain this 20%, maybe even he grows it. That would be fantastic news for him if he does that. But at about midnight, a very big batch of what are going to be very Democratic-friendly votes are going to come in. And so that may answer or really get us close to an answer on this other key question we're asking in Pennsylvania. Are the Democrats able to hold what they have in Philadelphia and maybe even win back the lost ground from 2020? Or does Trump make further inroads? Because, again, this is a county where Democrats, the Democrats won by about 470,000 votes in 2020. They want to hit that margin. They want to go higher on that margin tonight. So that's the drama in Philadelphia as this other half of the vote comes in. And we could just zoom right out and see. Oh, I was going to zoom out and show you the running statewide total. And I clicked Ohio for some reason. There you go. A little bit more than half statewide. That is Trump's lead statewide, but it's very spotty in terms of where you're seeing votes. Oh, there's one more I did want to flag for you. This is Cumberland County, because we do have about 3/4 of the vote in here. Why Cumberland County? Because we don't talk much about it, but there's a lot of population in this region of Pennsylvania. You got Lancaster County, you got York County. Here you got Cumberland County, Carlisle, Pennsylvania is in here. This is actually, you see red right now, this has been a growth area for Democrats. There's a lot of fast-growing suburbs in here. Again, demographically very conducive to the Democratic coalition, right outside, right across the river from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So Democrats made gains here in 2020. This was actually a very good performance for Joe Biden. Now, you see, with almost 3/4 of the vote in, Trump's a little bit short of that number. That was a bad number for him, and he's a little bit short of it now, but this is the thing to look for. with all of this remaining election day vote still to be counted, is Trump, is that not, we just saw this happen in Lackawanna County. Is that going to happen in Cumberland County? Is Trump going to gain enough that he hits that number and surpasses that 2020 number? This is the kind of place where his campaign needs to win back ground that they lost in 2020. This is a big part of why, or a significant part of why Trump lost Pennsylvania in 2020. So we're going to follow that as it continues to come in. And I can also note Butler County. This is red. Obviously, it was heavily in the news this summer with the with that Trump rally. Believe it or not, Butler County in the Trump era, which started in 2016, while it's still deeply red, has actually gotten less red. This has been a bit of a growth area, suburbs, right?
Man, I love these streams. Mr. Mustachio is here, guys. Listen. This is one of my first subscribers. This is one of my first people that have ever sponsored streams. Mr. Mustachio, this stream bought you out. How are you doing? Can y'all type in Moose in the chat? Oh my God. Oh, gee. Let's keep going. What's happening? What's happening? There's a ton of projections coming in, but let's keep watching.
Right outside Pittsburgh, some rural areas too. The Democrats actually, I'll just show you, put it up on the screen here. This was actually a bit disappointing for Trump in 2020. Just go back here and you take a look. He won it by 37 points in 2016, only 32 in 2020. This is a place where Democrats would like to make more gains. Right now, it's basically exactly where it landed in 2020. And again, there's not a ton, but there's more of that same day vote to come. And this is, again, the kind of place where the Trump campaign's goal coming into tonight would be to stop those losses that they were suffering, to stop that decline and maybe gain some ground back. So with most, not all the vote in Butler County, it doesn't look like they're going to fall back any farther. Just check in too on Allegheny County. There's more than 1 million people in Allegheny County. You think of the city of Pittsburgh, there's also just a ton of interior suburbs there, inner suburbs there. 3/4 of the vote in Allegheny. We'll just show you where this landed in 2020. And again, this is one of the few counties in Pennsylvania that's gotten more Democratic in the Trump era. But, it's huge, as we just say. So 60% is basically where Biden landed in Allegheny County in 2020, with about 3/4 of the vote in. And if you remember at the start of the night, we had all of that mail that was dropped in Allegheny County. Trump's been trying to chip away at that sense. We got to see with this remaining 25% of the vote if he can get back to that 2020 level here. Democrats really want to grow this. The other question we're going to try to get an answer on here, too, is if there is remaining vote by mail in Allegheny County, because we say that's the wild card in Philadelphia now. We're going to check on that in Allegheny County and in Pittsburgh. But these are places, where Democrats just depend on big margins and where Harris is going to need even bigger margins, by a few points to offset. But
Okay. Quick interruption. Fani Willis fucking won. She won. I'm fact checking it. I'm reviewing it right now. I've seen it everywhere in Atlanta. It says Fani Willis, the Georgia prosecutor who charged Trump, is elected to a second term. And I think we knew that was going to happen. Fani has so much support in the Atlanta region. Let's give her flowers for a second. She won. Congratulations. Courtney was too young. Courtney Kramer worked for the Trump administration, but at the same time had only practiced law for 3 or 4 years. This is going to be a long night. Fani has been re-elected. This is according to the Atlanta. I'm on Google News right now. This has been reported by Axios. This has been reported by 11 Alive. This has been reported by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. This has been reported by Atlanta News First, all within the last hour. So we got a long night, y'all. You and me, we gonna be here. Let's go back to Kornacki. Let's go back.
For instance, what Trump just did in Allegheny County, in Lackawanna County, excuse me.
Some of y'all are like, how? I don't know. Wait till Lead finds out in the morning. I'm skipping because I want to skip against this music and just come to an update. Okay, they're still on the music. Georgia's 80, 85, 90% in. Fani Willis is celebrating somewhere in Buckhead. She won. And here's the thing. I will say this. As I was down there and looking at just the signs on Friday, Saturday, Lead and I talked about this so many times. I think that Courtney Kramer could have done a better job in campaigning. She could have come to our platform, got a lot of people to learn about who she is. She's gone to many platforms. With the Nathan Wade thing, with the triangulation, how it just doesn't add up and it's used in the YSL case, she won. She won. It's great. The night is not over. We still have this presidential campaign to look at. Young Thug, who is a native of Atlanta, Georgia, has been banned from the city from one Fani Willis, who is a native of some town in California. Kornacki's doing his thing at the board. We're waiting for some things. Georgia's still too close. Pennsylvania's too close. Michigan's too close. Wisconsin's too close. North Carolina too early. Arizona too early. Nevada too early. States coming in, but you see those colors. Kornacki's looking at it. Red in the middle of the screen. Blue on the northeast side. Nothing on the West Coast because it's still way too early. What you do see is that Trump has 207 electoral college votes. Meanwhile, Miss Harris has 91 so far. Remember, she is also a native from California. California as a state itself does yield a lot of electoral college votes because of the size of the state. You have battleground states like Arizona. You also have Nevada. Those states, Colorado, historically blue, larger, but are on the West Coast. A little bit of a time lag there. Y'all are like, wake Lead up. Where is he? I mean, if y'all want the Lead reaction, I mean, you're going to have to get the Lead reaction. That's going to be interesting. Interesting. Shout out to Mr. Mustachio with the 20. It says Fani winning just shows how much voters know about their candidates or care. Some folks don't think past red, blue, good, or color bad. You know, it's a good point. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. This is a good point, Moose.
Yeah, let's check here, Rachel. We'll start
we have an
North
update.
Carolina. Look again, 83% of the vote statewide now counted, and Trump with a 3-point advantage here. It's about 135,000 votes. Yeah, I think we're seeing some clear things we've taken you through, and they're being reinforced the more we look at here. We talked about the rural counties with large black populations where Democrats wanted to run up turnout and make some gains. That has not happened. You take a look at some of these big, well-populated, still Republican suburbs where Trump has had some slippage, where Democrats would need further slippage. We've singled out Union County before. Trump has actually gained ground in Union County. This is a gigantic one just outside of Charlotte. He's actually gained ground there relative to 2020 when this was a big reason the state got as close as it did. Another county that fits the bill here is Johnston County. Again, just very similar to Union County, just outside of Wake County. And again, it's not massive, but Trump doing a point better than he did. Harris doing a point worse than she did. look, North Carolina is a state that is typically decided within the margins here. You know, the Republicans have been winning it since 2008, not in landslide margins. So when you have a 1-point swing towards Trump and a 1-point swing away from the Democrats, and you keep seeing that all over the place, boy, that really does start to add up. Even in a place here, 3/4 of the vote in Guilford County, where Greensboro is. This is part of the triad. This is one of the big Democratic vote-producing counties. But again, Biden was over 60% of the vote here, at nearly 61% of the vote in 2020. What's still to come in Guilford County is that Republican favoring a same-day vote. So you're really starting to see this lead that Trump has right here. The ingredients that are going into it are the ingredients he needed coming into the night. We'll just check in there. Coming into the night to have a good night in North Carolina. Take a trip down to Georgia. 86% of the vote counted now. Trump's margin over 153,000 votes. Remember, he lost this by about 12,000 last time around. We've been keeping an eye on Fulton County. Democrats need gains there. They can't afford any slippage. The same-day votes counted up here, being counted up here. And now you can see it. Harris has fallen more than a point below where Biden finished in 2020. Trump's improved by more than a point here. And a county this size, well over 1 million people here. That is a significant shift there. And with more same day to come, that may get even worse for Democrats right there. You could take a look at Douglas County. We have Cobb County. Again, we still have vote to come in here. But Harris now basically falling back to Biden's level, the potential to slip even further there. Up here, again, I won't take you through the individual counties, but in North Georgia, this is just the overwhelming Republican part of the state. And this story is being repeated in county after county. Trump is performing better. He won these things by 75 points or so in 2020. He's performing even better in these counties. So look, just zoom out here and look at the implications of this potentially. If this continues with the votes that are still to come in Georgia, North Carolina, I say this as a very, very big if here, but if you just play this out to let you know about the implications here. If Trump gets Georgia and if Trump gets North Carolina, okay, and there's no other surprises outside of the battlegrounds, and we already saw Iowa called. That was one of the potential surprises people were thinking about. With those two states, Trump would move probably to 251 expected electoral votes. And how many electoral votes are in Pennsylvania? The answer is 19. So if in the remaining votes in North Carolina and Georgia, Donald Trump is able to lock down victories in those states, I say if, but based on what I'm showing you, there's reason for hope for the Trump folks that could happen. If Trump wins those two states, he'd be at probably 251, and likely in that scenario, if he could get Pennsylvania, that would get him to 270. Now, Pennsylvania, still a scramble here. 57% of the vote is in. Just check in here on Luzerne County. We continue to get more vote out of here. This is one of the key bellwethers we're using because this is Northeast Pennsylvania. Boy, there's a ton of vote in here. And this is the area the Trump campaign said they're going to improve on 2020 here. Again, 2/3 of the vote in now. Trump is ticking up closer to that 2020 level here. So keep an eye on that and the rest of the state. But Pennsylvania, just given what we're seeing in Georgia and North Carolina, increasingly taking center stage right here as one that the Harris campaign has always wanted, felt they needed. If Trump gets Georgia and Trump gets North Carolina, then Pennsylvania becomes an absolute must for Democrats.
Pennsylvania, guys. Wow. Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Georgia, Trump taking these key states. And I'm just going to turn it down for a second. Trump taking these key states, as you guys can see, will easily get him over the 270. And again, I don't care what side you're on. It's just a matter of reporting what's happening as it happens. We're 86% in Georgia. Look at the screen, guys. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 gray spots left. 4 gray spots left. And it's important for this state to report on time. Why? Because we had issues with this state in the past in 2020. So the state in itself wants to report on time and do things a little bit differently this time. But wow. So just with Georgia, just with North Carolina, and just with Pennsylvania, because those are high population spots, Trump can get what he needs for the 270 to the presidency at 210 right now on the right-hand side of your screen. You're seeing it. You're seeing it. Now, what I like about MSNBC, I like Kornacki because he tends to not Tell you about his politics. He's a data nerd. He looks at the numbers. You see him? You look at that intensity. I think he's a Boston guy too. This is why I like this dude. It's like, oh, look at North Carolina, guys. Is it almost in? Virginia, one more jurisdiction, one more district. He's checking in on those tight spots. Texas, look at you guys in Texas. You're almost there. A few more. 57% in the great state of Texas. Looks like the projected winner. Michigan, a few more spots in Michigan. Almost in, guys. Almost in. This is intense. The little gaming channel says if Trump wins, the world will end soon after. Listen, guys, you're all entitled to your opinions, whoever you prefer. I'm going back to Mr. Mustachio before we had that interruption. Yeah, Fani won. I mean, I'll be honest, guys, I'm a little sad because I can't tell you I liked Fani. I mean, I would have liked Fani. But what I didn't like about Fani was the Nathan Wade thing. Like, I didn't think that was okay. The guy was married. Tell the truth about what you're doing, that sort of thing. Be transparent. There's not a lot of us, people of color, that are in positions like that. So I really wished that some things were different. But I think the big thing for me was sell hawk information, not applying to her, but does apply to the people in the YSL case. That's not okay. And tax dollars in the YSL trial. And you guys let Young Thug was practically let out last week. And then it's like today we watched the trial and they have nothing left to convict these people. Personally, we're hard on crime in Fulton County. Your girl got robbed in Fulton County. I would like some justice for that. I didn't get any, but that's cool. Let's just, put jurors on in a trial for $25 a day. And yeah, that's cool. Just take all my tax dollars. Kornacki, what are we doing? Are we over here? We're going to the board? What's coming in? 210. 210. So I'm biased, guys. Don't listen to me. I'm just really sad that happened. That happened. Tough on crime. Whatever. I want my shoes back. YSL Breezy. Corleone the 5 says checking in from Gary, Indiana. If Trump wins, Fani gonna shit herself because her career is over for that little finesse she tried to pull in the courtroom from him. Well, think about it. Nurse incarcerated says, AV, you're slurring your words or you're drinking. This is my second stream of the day. I'll stop talking. Let's just watch. It's 10:40 p.m. where I am. I did 3 streams today. I'm not going to say anything. Let's watch these results. You can't make this up. Did 3 streams today, and that's what you get met with. I can't stand YouTube sometimes. Like, people are so mean. You're drinking, you're slurring your words. Like, have you watched another creator that did 3 lives? Okay. Continue to reporting on the news. Where in Michigan? Going by county, there are a lot of gray spots here. Tennessee is in, or at least, Texas is getting higher up there. 75% in Texas. Very cool. What is Kornacki looking at? That's intense. Next polls are closing in 18 minutes. Texas is the projected winner with Donald Trump. 5 million to 3.8 million of the votes that have come in Texas so far. Wow. Uh-oh, we have an update from Cornac. What do we got?
Yeah, in Michigan, and again, it's very scattered here, but there are a couple of big places I want to look at because they might be offering us some clues. Again, we say with some of these bigger counties, we have questions going into the night, specific questions about counties that, could be extrapolated potentially more broadly. Meaning, let's take a look here at one of the biggest. We flagged this one at the start of the night. This is Oakland County. This is a big, giant suburban county just outside Detroit. And this is of the two big suburban counties just north of Detroit. This is the Democratic one. This is the one, with a lot of college-educated, higher income types, a lot of bedroom communities here. So look at this. 2/3 of the vote is now counted in Oakland County. And Harris is winning. The Democrats are supposed to win here. Her margin's inside 10 points. It's less than a 50,000 vote raw vote margin here. I want to show you what this does in the context of other recent races. In 2020, this was a 14-point win for Joe Biden. And in 2016, this was an 8-point win for Hillary Clinton. And I don't think I need to tell you, this wasn't enough to win Michigan for Hillary Clinton. This was more than enough for Joe Biden to win Michigan. And this right now looks an awful lot like this. Remember our test coming into the night, one of them was to compare Oakland to its next door neighbor, Macomb. Macomb is blue right now. This is the blue collar, Trump friendly suburban county. There's almost no vote that's been counted there. So yet to be seen how this is going to measure up. But one of the reasons Democrats were able to win Michigan, why Joe Biden was able to win Michigan 4 years ago, was this. He was able to run up a monster number in a gigantic, highly populated suburban county, and it more than offset Trump's strength in the other gigantic blue-collar suburban county. This is a number, if this holds, that the Trump people would be very happy with. The Democrats want that back where it was in 2020. One other county that I think we can look at here and get a bit of a clue from, this is just outside of Lansing, and this is one at the start of the night that if the Democrats looked at, they would have said, we want to flip this county tonight. Let me just show you. It got super close in 2020. Joe Biden came less than a point away from winning it here. It had been a 5-point Trump county in 2016. Again, this is one of those places, the reason why Joe Biden was able to make the gains in Michigan, a big sort of suburban county, outside Lansing here. Biden nearly won it. And again, this 95% basically means all the vote is now in Eaton County. It's gone back to that 2016 level, 51-46, 49-44. That's what the Trump campaign wants to see in counties like this, where they had slippage in counties they won in 2020. They want to get that slippage back. We saw that earlier. We showed you Lackawanna County in Pennsylvania. They did that. They did this just outside Lansing. Here's another place where they really want to do that. You could see right here next to Oakland, it's Livingston County. Okay, this is a mix of sort of suburbia, some rural areas here too. It's gigantic, kind of between Lansing and Detroit. More than half the vote now counted in Livingston County. And again, just want to show you, this was a bad number for Donald Trump 4 years ago. He won this by a little bit less than 23 points. This was a good number for Donald Trump. He won the state of Michigan in 2016, winning here by about just under 30 points. And his margin tonight is looking more so far like 2016 than it is 2020. This is a pattern that's being repeated. We're showing you, not a lot of counties in Michigan have this much vote in, but in those that are, we're starting to see this. And again, we're seeing this in other areas of the battleground, the northern tier of the battleground. Pennsylvania, we had some more that just came in, almost completely here. It can take you through them. You can start right here, Berks County. Okay, this is where Reading is. One of the things we talked about, Reading has the highest concentration of Hispanic residents of any city in Pennsylvania. The Trump campaign said, we are going to make gains with Hispanic voters. The national exit poll is showing Trump making substantial gains with Hispanic voters tonight. I've seen counties way outside the battleground with large Hispanic populations where Donald Trump has made dramatic gains tonight. Some in Virginia, Hudson County, New Jersey is another. And here in Berks County, again, with one of the larger Hispanic populations in Pennsylvania, here's Trump with just about, that's basically the vote here, winning it by 13. Look at that. 4 years ago, he won it by 8. This is exactly what the Trump campaign said it was going to do in a place like Burke County. It was going to take that and it was going to make it double digits. They've made it double digits in Burke County. We check in on Luzerne County. And again, we've been talking about this one. As that same day vote comes in, this is Wilkes-Barre, this is Hazleton, another county with a substantial Hispanic population, one of the highest in Pennsylvania. Now Trump has hit his 2020 number there, and he's got a long way to go here. All that vote that's still to come in, we expect to be election day vote. The pattern, the trend is pretty clear here. So again, you're seeing Trump in good position in one of those big counties, densely populated counties in northeast Pennsylvania. Take a look down here at Cumberland County. We talked about this one a little while ago. This was a big hope for Democrats in Pennsylvania coming into tonight. Again, 95% means basically it's all in Cumberland County. Again, 2020 looked like this. It's basically the same. It's a fraction of a point different. But that's a win for the Trump campaign because in the context, look at this. It was an 18-point race. Trump won here by 18 points in 2016. Democrats made a huge jump. This was one of their biggest in the state in 2020, bringing it down to 10. They wanted to keep this going tonight. They didn't. Trump was able to stop the losses in Cumberland County. So again, that's something that encourages that his campaign exactly wanted to see right there. We're starting to get Erie County. Again, this would be the vote by mail in Erie County. The story we've been talking about elsewhere now is going to play out in Erie. This is the bellwether. It's one of the two that switched sides.
Sorry to interrupt Kornacki, but just want to let you guys know, looking at the Senate results, the United States Senate results, we have 48 Republican seats and 37 Democratic seats. 34 are still up for election, but of course, you guys know the majority is 50, and the Republican seats are already tallying in at 48. So we're almost there. This is an interesting night. Back to Cornett.
Biden in 2020. The name of the game in the final 2/3 of the vote is, can Trump catch Harris with the election day vote? Just checking in on Philadelphia. We're up to 2/3 of the vote now in Philadelphia. And again, this is just Philadelphia, the city. And again, I think this is becoming a bit of a theme we're seeing in multiple states now, the Hispanic vote. Why did Trump make some progress? It was small, but it was there in Philadelphia in 2020. It was because he improved with Hispanic voters in Hispanic areas of the city. With 2/3 of the vote in Philadelphia now, it's 77-21. Well, that looks terrible, but compare that to 2020, and look at that. Trump is running 3.5 points better in Philadelphia than he did in 2020. Harris now 4 points off the Biden number. There is more mail to come, more vote by mail to come in Philadelphia. That will be a boost to Harris, but there's also more same-day vote to come. And you can see Trump is running above his 2020 levels there. So where this lands, the Trump campaign's goal in Philadelphia was basically get that Biden number under 80%. So far, they're on course to do that. There's the wild card of the mail there. That adds a lot of volatility to this. But again, you're starting to, as these counties fill in, you're starting to see some patterns, and patterns you're not just seeing in one state, you're seeing them in multiple states right now.
Okay, and you're looking at the state of Pennsylvania, guys, with one county left. One county. Shout out to Variant. Variant, I thought you were a man. You're a woman. I'm sorry about that, Variant. Huge valued member of my community. She says that Harris is up by 1.9 points in Virginia. So that is interesting. I think, do we have any more TiVo time? We don't. But we are just a few minutes away from some more projections that are coming in. I believe at 11 p.m. We have a few things that are coming in. Thank you so much. And also thank you guys for the huge level of support. You know, I did have somebody that was a little mean. You know, this is my third live stream for the day. Naturally, I don't know another human being that can do 3 of them and not be tired. I don't know. Apparently, I guess people are supposed to be machines and not be tired. It looks like they are shifting us to Michigan, or Wisconsin, rather. Wisconsin's almost in as well. It says 60%, but we just have a few counties that look like they need to put in their ballots. So thank you. Shout out to Gianni. I don't know if that's my brother. My brother's name is actually Gianni. So if this is you, shout out to you, bro. Do you see what I deal with on this goddamn platform? I mean, it's fun, But it's like at the same time, people are so mean, you know, and it's always just the one thing that you see. You'll be focused, having fun, and then those things happen. But it's okay. Like, it's one person, and to be quite honest, I blocked them. I will have my revenge. They're gone. They're not coming back. So looking at this, we are almost in. It looks like the House is also having an interesting. Oh, wow. Look at North Carolina. Is North Carolina in? Look at Kornacki. Are we about to get a North Carolina 90%? All of it's filled. No, not all of it's filled in. We have two counties up top. Almost called in. North Carolina, what are y'all about to do? What are y'all about to do? Where is North Carolina going to end? It's going to be interesting. Kornacki's got that face on. He's like, what do we got? What do we got? What are we doing? 7 minutes. 7 minutes. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Let's come to some super chats while we wait. Mr. Mustachio, again, I talked a little bit about.
We can tell you about one. We've been following North Carolina, where statewide you can see 85% of the vote now in. Donald Trump maintaining that lead in the neighborhood of 150,000 votes. The big thing that just happened is we have been talking about the giant, core city counties where Democrats need the big margins. We've been waiting all night on Mecklenburg County. This is where the city of Charlotte is. Now we've got almost all of Mecklenburg County has now been reported out. Harris, no surprise, landslide margin here, but this is short of where Joe Biden was here 4 years ago. Joe Biden won Mecklenburg by 35. Right now it's 32.5. And again, this number, Biden lost North Carolina narrowly, but he lost it 4 years ago. The name of the game for Democrats was to make a jump here tonight. You could look at it, do it in the raw vote, and you'll really see it. 378,000. That's the number of votes Joe Biden got here in 2020. 179,000 Trump. That is essentially a 200,000 vote margin that Democrats got out of Mecklenburg County 4 years ago. Not quite enough to win the state, but the name of the game for them tonight was build on that. Drive that over 200,000 with 90% in. There is still some votes to come in, so this is going to change, but you can see clearly the difference here is sitting at less than 175,000. So instead of going north of 200,000, it is on pace to finish south of where they were 4 years ago. So that's a significant development. Democrats looking at North Carolina all night have wanted something giant to come out of Mecklenburg. We just basically got Mecklenburg. That's what it is. The other one that I think is notable, we don't quite have all of it, but in Wisconsin, again, nearing 60% of the vote in statewide, razor thin. But again, one of those questions we asked at the start of the night, getting some clarity, and it's in the most Democratic vote producing margin county in the state, Dane County. Almost 90% of the vote in here. We're getting close to all the vote in Dane County. Significance here, Democrats rely so much on Dane County in Wisconsin now because they've lost so much ground in the rural areas of this state. I said at the start of the night, every single presidential election this century, the Democrats have added to their margin in Dane County. They have squeezed more and more and more out of it. Take a look at this. 4 years ago, Biden wins Dane County. It's the University of Wisconsin is here by 53 points. And that is a margin of about get that marker working. That's a margin of about 182,000 votes. Name of the game tonight was to hit that number and go further, like they have in every election this century in Dane County, with about 90% and still some votes to come. But you can see how far short they are of that number. 149,000 right now. 182 was the number back in 2020. This is the county Democrats rely on here. Also in the WOW counties, the question coming in tonight, the WOW counties being the big suburban bedroom communities right outside Milwaukee. Coming into the night, they're red now. They've consistently been red. How much less red would they get? We keyed in on Ozaukee County. Okay, this is now 60% of the vote is in Ozaukee County. Significance here is Trump lost in 2016, he won the county, but he lost so much ground that this was the worst Republican performance in Ozaukee County since 1964. This fits the profile demographically of exactly where Democrats thought they could knock it out of the park tonight. Knock it out of the park in Ozaukee County means get this down to single digits, something like that. Instead, 60% of the vote in. We'll see what happens the rest of the way. But so far, Trump has stopped the losses in Ozaki County, which had been considerable, the decline in Ozaki County, which had been considerable since he became the Republican candidate in 2016, and now leading by more than 14 points here. So those are some big counties, significant counties, politically significant counties, where we now have a giant chunk of the vote, and we can start to see some patterns developing. Again, just checking in statewide, close to 60%. It is very close there statewide, but, you know, that is a county, you know, few counties where we have that much vote in that size. That's very significant, potentially, what we just saw in Dane County.
Okay, it looks like they're fact checking some stuff. He's checking it. It's 10:57 Eastern. 3 minutes into some new projections, some new results. Wow, look at that. Georgia, you're looking at yourself on a screen, Georgia. 3 more left. Wow. Checking Google. Yeah, we still have 210 for Trump, 113 for Harris. And these are the Electoral College votes. A few more of them projected any minute now. We're going to get a bit more. But if Trump wins Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, that's all he needs, really. What are the states that are gray right now? What are we missing? Let me bring this screen over here and show you guys. What are we missing? We are missing these states. So as of right now, these are updated live by Google and the AP. 113 for Harris, 210 for Trump. We do not have our West Coast states. We need Washington, which is expected around 11 p.m., so 2 minutes from now. Oregon, expected around 11 p.m., 2 minutes from now. Idaho, 11 p.m., 2 minutes from now. California, which is Harris's home state. That's her home state. So we're waiting for that. Nevada, same thing. It just says results expected soon. It is a key race. Now, if you look at the numbers, 44 million votes for Kamala Harris so far, 50 million votes. And these are the popular votes, these numbers that I'm showing you on the screen right now. These are the everyday Americans that took time out of their day to actually vote, whether you did it today, whether you early voted, or whether you sent in a mail-in ballot. Again, every state has a certain amount of votes that it can send in, right, for the Electoral College based upon population. Now, these ones that you see that are shaded, we know that our gray ones are going to be projected in about a minute. The ones that are solid in red show their projections, but note that it does say, so for example, North Dakota, it says 55% of reporting is in, but based on that, and you could see the vote count on the right-hand side, 139 votes versus the 55,000 that came in for Kamala. You can see that the projection is going to the person that is winning when you have these large margins, okay? So the ones that are shaded in dark red, middle America traditionally does go Republican. You do have some states like Colorado, 63% of reporting in going blue for Kamala. Now, New Mexico traditionally does go blue. So that is something that is likely going to go to Kamala. Arizona is lightly shaded red. But remember, look at how close this margin is. 11 Electoral College votes, Donald Trump 49%, Kamala at 49%. Their votes are down to 3,000 votes in the state of Arizona. That's with 50% reporting, though. Minnesota see the same thing. 11% of reporting, so slow to give us their numbers. 10 Electoral College votes coming in here. But it looks like 60% of Trump so far. Wisconsin, big one. Look at this one. Trump is in the millions here. He's at, California just came in. Okay, we just saw some, we just got some votes for Kamala. She is now at 179 and Trump went up to 174. Let's go back to the Kornacki cam so we can see what's going on. Let's share this tab instead. Google just updated that. What is happening? Yes, we know that California is traditionally always blue. Do you guys hear static, or maybe that's just my headphones? Washington's numbers came in. California's numbers came in. This is tight, guys. 214, 145. You hear the static? Static came and went. It's gone now on my side. I think that was MSNBC. Wow. Do you guys see how like 11 o'clock changed everything? Sorry for always, forever, for life. I scared you. I was just, because I was reading it. I was like trying to show y'all what was going on. One county left in Pennsylvania, guys. Eee! Freedom from Fear says it didn't really move much for Trump, but it moved a lot for Kamala. We knew she was going to get Cali, though. Kornacki looks like he's about to tell us something. Oh, we're almost done in Georgia. This is so tense. What states are you guys in? Let us know. Don't tell us who you voted for. Just tell us what states you're in. Phil already called Georgia, Maryland, Michigan, Florida, Nevada, Washington in the house, Ohio, Virginia, Tennessee, Florida. Kornacki's looking at something. South Carolina, Utah, Minnesota. He's zooming in on Georgia. What's about to happen? Louisiana, Seattle, Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. I think they're about to call Georgia. Man. He's checking something for Georgia. Checking in on Pennsylvania. Somebody said Mechanicsville. Shout out to Mechanicsville. One county left in Pennsylvania. All we need to know is 3 states. Let me keep my results over here. See what we're looking at. Still 214. I have 179 for Harris. They have 145. What are they not giving her? I don't think that they shaded Washington State in yet. The only state on the United States map that is still gray is Nevada. The reason why Harris has a little bit of a bump with that 11 o'clock result, Oregon is lightly shaded blue. Sorry, 3 states that we don't have results for yet. Nevada, we're still waiting on. Alaska, we're still waiting on. Hawaii, we're still waiting on. Everything else is either a solid red or a solid blue. Yeah, they keep focusing on Battleground. They keep looking at Georgia. They keep looking at North Carolina, Pennsylvania. You know, there's some of them in the north that we're not going to pay attention to, like Maine, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Jersey. Like those are going to be blue. Like those are going to be blue. Now, Washington, it's interesting. The map that we're looking at on the screen, they do have Oregon as blue. Washington is that state on the top left-hand corner. From what I see from Google, they have that as a solid blue and have given Kamala her electoral college votes from there. I'm not sure why MSNBC hasn't done it yet. But damn, look at that on the bottom of the screen, guys. Kamala got 54 votes just from the state of California, which is where she was a senator, whereas also where she was a DA. So that gave her a huge boost, huge bump. This is getting very close, guys. We're going to see what Nevada, Arkansas, and Hawaii do. How much do we have for those states? Okay, Nevada says results are expected at any minute now. Alaska, we're not getting results from them till 1 a.m. I don't know if I'm going to be up here that long. Hawaii, we are getting results from them in the next hour. I could probably stay up for that one. Everything else is either lightly shaded blue or lightly shaded pink. So not red yet. Not red yet. Huge shout out to all of you guys that are dropping super chats. Siri gifted a membership. Sally Sunshine says, thanks for the election party. I thought this would be fun. I do it with my family every year. So, or not every year, every election. Doesn't matter what side you're on. We have these reactions. We're like, oh my God, this state voted this way. We look at it. It's always a great time. So thank you so much. So much. Sally, third stream of the day, guys. Trying not to slur. But when you do 3 streams in a day, I mean, it's expected. Shout out to Anthony with the 10. No comment, no question. Pure love of the game. Thank you so much. Caught this one from TLGC. We talked about this one for a little bit, the little gaming channel. What time is it where you are? 8 p.m. Thank you, sir. Valhalla became a member. Thank you so much, Valhalla. Miss Bobbitt says, AV, can you check your email, please? I will. We are backed up. We are severely backed up, but we will review that email. Oh, okay. It got muted. I was like, oh, what's happening? What are you going to say, Kornacki?
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
Here we go.
I understand. Did you just throw to me? Yes. Oh, somebody was talking to me at IFB. I apologize. Here we go. Some stuff, some more returns in Pennsylvania. As I gather my train of thought here, I wanted to update you on 3 key counties here, again, in Northeast Pennsylvania. We started the night saying, and we've said it a few times, that there are only 2 counties in Pennsylvania that are true swing counties. That is to say, they backed Donald Trump in 2016 when he won the state. Then they flipped over and they backed Joe Biden when he won the state in 2020. One of them is Erie County, where you see right now about half the vote is in. Harris is ahead here. This is primarily on the strength of the vote by mail. The question is, as the rest of the vote comes in, which we know is Republican friendly, is Trump going to catch Harris there? Put a pin in that one, because the other one, we pretty much have all the vote in right now, and it's flipping. Northampton County, this is where Easton, Pennsylvania is. This is the other county that flipped to Joe Biden in 2020 when he won the state. This fits a pattern we started talking about a little bit ago. There's a substantial Hispanic population in this county, and Donald Trump has made meaningful gains here. Joe Biden won this by a fraction of a point. It's now more than 5 points in Trump's favor, with just about all the vote counted up. We also just got a lot of the vote, almost all of it now, in Lehigh County. And again, Joe Biden won here by 8 points in 2020. It's a little under 5 right now. What's in Lehigh County? The city of Allentown is in Lehigh County. It is a majority Hispanic county. Both candidates paid a lot of attention to this. The Trump folks have bet on making gains with Hispanic voters, particularly in cities like Allentown in Pennsylvania. We don't have all the returns in from the city of Allentown yet, but what we do have shows Trump making significant further gains in that city. We also have We also have from Monroe County just about all the vote in. This is the city of Stroudsburg. East Stroudsburg is here. Again, substantial growing Latino population. And look at this. In 2020, Joe Biden won here by 6.5 points. Kamala Harris now ahead by 0.7 of a point with just about all the vote in. Something else we've been seeing tonight, this is really, I keep pointing it out because I keep seeing it, and I think it's important to know. There's a lot of counties like this in Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin where Donald Trump either won or came very close in 2016, and he lost meaningful ground in 2020 when he lost all 3 of those states. And we keep seeing this tonight. Where he's landing tonight is back where he landed in 2016. These were winning numbers for Trump. These were losing numbers from Trump. This is another county where you're seeing winning, the 2016 winning numbers for Trump. And just to put Lehigh in perspective here too, Lehigh County, again, I think we showed you 8 for Biden, less than 5 tonight. So you're also seeing it there. We continue to see it. Philadelphia, monitoring this as well. Now, more than 80% of the vote is counted here. Again, compare this to 2020. Biden won here, 81-18. We're going to take it a step further back because I want you to see the longer-term trend here. In fact, I can take it all the way back to 2012 because I think it's an interesting story. In 2012, Barack Obama won this county by 71 points. Okay, the county, it's Philadelphia. It's the city of Philadelphia. Donald Trump in 2016, he brought it down to 67 points. In 2020, Trump lost ground in the state. Trump lost the entire state of Pennsylvania. But look at this. He basically brought it down to 63 points from 71, 67, 63. And tonight, right now, this is down to 56 points from 71 in 2012 down to 56. Again, what are we seeing here? What we saw in 2020, the Hispanic precincts of Philadelphia, we saw meaningful improvement for Donald Trump. We're not talking about 10, 20, 30 points here. We're talking about enough, though, to bring 67-point gap down to 63, and tonight, currently 56. The margin for Kamala Harris in Philadelphia right now is just about 300,000 votes. Democrats would love to see that land tonight at 500,000. Boy, they got a long way to go to get there. The one thing Democrats have to hope for in Philadelphia right now is there is a large number of vote by mail ballots that are going to be released. Looking at my clock here, we think in the next 45 minutes or so. That should boost the Harris number in Philadelphia. That should boost the margin there. But she needs to get that back at least to where Joe Biden was 4 years ago. She needs to get that margin way up. I'm just going to take a quick look through the collar counties here because I think we're starting to get some meaningful vote. Again, these collar counties, especially Delaware, Chester, and Montgomery County, have become big core Democratic vote-producing counties. Delaware County is the most Democratic of these 3, and you can see it was 63-36 here in 2020. The name of the game in all these counties, Democrats want to be landing north of the Joe Biden number from 2020. They're on the Joe Biden number in Delaware County right now. Take a look out in Chester County. Again, this is where Democrats, I said at the start of the night, they want to land over 60% in Chester County, 59-8 for Harris right now. But the wild card is waiting on a lot of same-day vote. Is that going to affect? That number for Harris right now? And move up to Montgomery County. You know, you got cities here on the towns on the main line here, old school. 26 points for Joe Biden. It's 30 right now. Again, 30 would be where Democrats want this to land. The danger for them, though, is there's still a significant amount of same-day vote there. But Democrats need Philadelphia to come through on the mail. They need massive margins to hold in these counties, and they're also going to need that. We'll just check quickly in Allegheny County. We're getting close, by the way. Pittsburgh suburbs, we're getting close to 90% of the vote here. And again, that Harris number here right now is under, small, but it is slightly under the Biden number. The Trump number, 0.4 of a point better than 4 years ago. If this is basically a push with 2020, the Trump folks, if you offered them that at the start of the night, I think they would have taken it. We'll see what that remaining vote does.
Wow. Okay, so you guys see Pennsylvania is huge. It is such an important state. It is such an important battleground state. It really can make or break what we are doing. We're waiting on the results for Georgia. We're waiting on the results for North Carolina. We're waiting on the results for Pennsylvania. That is going to determine who is going to be the president of the United States. Just scrolling out and looking here on the other monitor, it looks like we're still waiting on 3 counties in Georgia to report their results. That's as of right now in on the AP. Looking at Pennsylvania, it looks like we're just waiting on one county. Steve Kornacki just said too, he looks like he has someone else helping out there. But from what I could see on the AP, we just need one more county to report what they have, and we're good to go. And then coming to North Carolina, we are waiting on, it looks like everything is reported there. But one never knows. They could be double checking to report as a state. But North Carolina has not been called. It's not a solid color. It says 89% of reporting is in, 90% of reporting in Georgia, 75% in Pennsylvania. And you guys know we have played with a few other battleground states. Michigan, only 31% of reporting in. We're still waiting on that. Wisconsin, 65% of reporting. Wisconsin and Michigan are going to be huge in this race as well. Minnesota's only 14% in, so it's super slow there. Nevada, waiting on. Alaska and Hawaii. Again, lower populations in Alaska and Hawaii. Nevada could be huge too. Nevada, historically, where have they landed? Blue or red? Right? So this is all fun. This is all super, super fun. Let me come back to our super chats here. I think I left off at Mrs. Bobbitt. Yes, we are behind on email, but we will get to you on that. Shout out to Miss Just Lee, who has gifted 10 AV memberships. Thank you so much. They are zooming in into Connecticut, but that's going to be blue. That's definitely going to be blue. Thank you so much, Just Lee, for gifting 10 memberships and growing our community. Appreciate you. Valhalla with the 20 says, Trump, remember, sir, this ain't no 68. I did my part to get in there and make sure you return the favor. I mean, it's not a 68. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I think that there's a lot of energy and support with this election, no matter what side you are on. Can you guys imagine if Joe was running again? I think it would be weird. Look at that. 3 gray spots in Georgia, 93% in. Almost. Thank you, Valhalla. Drew Beats with the 5 says, what are you talking about? AV, you're my news outlet. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sometimes when I'm really exhausted, I just do not have the tolerance for people and mean stuff. Usually I can block it without a vengeance, but man, try something different. Somebody always got something to say. But thank you so much, Drew Beats. Appreciate you. Grammy68 has been a member for 3 months, as it's crazy how the whole world is watching this. Legit, some of you guys are in the chat international. If you are international, where are you? Some people are in the UK. I think it was Miss Scorpio, Miss Scorps. She said she was in the UK and it was 4 a.m. over there. The world is eagerly watching what the result is going to be. Very, very cool. Mark, the paralegal, is saying that he might have just projected North Carolina, and he is right, guys. Thank you so much, Mark, the paralegal. Trump just won North Carolina. North Carolina is officially a red state. Wow. Where does that put Mr. Donald Trump? That puts him at 230. Even MSNBC hasn't reported this yet. That puts Trump at 230. He just needs 40 left for the Electoral College. All right, it looks like Kornacki is getting intense there, so we might have a we might have an update soon. But that puts Trump from 214 to 230. Wow. Interesting. Thank you so much, Mark the paralegal, for letting us know. I just saw that. Yeah, and that's reported on Google. The entire South is almost red. The only state that is not red yet is Georgia. Interesting. We'll see what they say here, but Georgia, we're counting on you. We are counting on you. They haven't projected it yet, but you see Kornacki when he's about to go in. You see it. Shout out to Elet, who's in the UK at 4:20 a.m., staying to watch the concession. Wow, this is intense, guys. It really is. It really is. The entire South, North Carolina, South Carolina. They're not ready to call it yet. That's going to leave us with those lake states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. We're going to need to hear from them soon. Those are going to be the determining factors. And then on the West Coast, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Alaska, Hawaii, Oregon. We're almost done, guys. This is so exciting. Dub Brightside said, make America slime again. Respectfully, I'm slime now. That came up in the YSL trial. Is Kornacki ready to call it? He's stressed out. Is he ready to call North Carolina? Yep, he's zooming in. Let's go. Let's see what he's going to say here. I think he's going to call North Carolina. He's zooming in. He's checking on the other ones. Man, 16 electoral college votes in Georgia, 16 on the line. Where's that going? 16 votes on the line. So interesting. Okay, I think we left off at Grammy. Thank you. Shout out to Barry with the 2. No comment, no question. Pure love of the game. Thank you, Barry. Sean became a new member. Welcome, Sean. You're going to love it here. We have fun. Bree Rose with the 2. No comment, no question. Pure love of the game. Thank you, Bree. He put the paper in his mouth. Hello, Under Oath with the 5. Says, even when I left Georgia, I kept my license there. $20 a year for registration. Can't beat that. Oh, I've learned the hard way to travel back to vote. Thank you, Under Oath. Mango Gelato with the 5 says, AV squad, this is my time to get ready for work. May the best candidate win. We're going to see. Probably got about 40 minutes before we see something crazy here. Interesting. Thank you, Mango Gelato. Shout out to Wrench Turner. He says the South's going to rise again, boys. It is indeed. It is. Thank you, Wrench. Always good to see you. Bree back with another 5 says, I'm a Cobb County, Georgia resident. A judge pushed absentee ballot deadline to 11. What? No, November 8th? I don't expect final numbers until next week. Wow. Absentee ballot deadline to 11/8. Why is that interesting? I wanted to do an absentee ballot, but they said that the deadline was October 25th in Fulton County. Didn't have a choice there. That's weird, Bree. Uh-oh, Kornacki. Do we have Pennsylvania too? North Carolina's in. Is Pennsylvania done? Show all states. He always gets me excited when he zooms in this way. Shout out to Kornacki. Tracy says, great live, AV. Thank you so much, Tracy. Appreciate you, sis. ZMT became a member. Welcome, ZMT. Welcome. Kamala's numbers on my end just went up to 187. Trump at 230. What did she just get? Oregon has now been called for Kamala Harris. She has the entire West Coast, Washington, Oregon, California. Oregon just went up. Kamala's at 187. They are behind. 187 to 230. 270 to become president. Almost there. Battleground states are everything. Thank you, ZMT. Kelly Cal with the 2 says we can hear video and you. Thank you, Kelly Cal. Yeah, I had a little bit of technical difficulties earlier. Blessed to be with the 5 says we can hear you. Thank you so much, Blessed to be, for letting me know. Kornacki, you got some updates to do, sir. We need Oregon, North Carolina. Those 2 states just weighed in. Half hour to go, guys. Little Gaming Channel with the 10 says put a number 1 in the chat if you, your mama, grandmother, great-grandmother washed greens in the bathtub. That was fun. Thanks again for that one. What is he looking at? He is looking at Wisconsin. He's zooming in on Wisconsin. Where are they at? Let me see. On my end, Wisconsin is still at 66% reporting. But he's zooming into different counties there. It looks like there's 2 more that are grayed out. It does say too close to call. Thank you, Mars, for the super sticker. Carmen says, I can hear you both now. Thank you, Carmen. You rock. Little Gamer Channel back with another 10 says, now I must ask, why? 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 187, 230, 187 blue from Miss Harris.
Look at a few more things we're getting.
Oh, here we go.
First of all, I want to point this out. This is what the national popular vote is right now. Now, customarily, we've seen this the last 2 elections, 20 and 16, that Trump has led in the tally of the national popular vote, well into the night. And typically what you see certainly is California comes in late, and it takes a while to get all the vote counted there. And that's just a millions of vote margin for Democrats. So certainly this is going to change, and we're just starting to get California in. But outside of the core battleground, there are a couple things that I want to flag, a couple states that it's awfully late in the night and we don't have calls on yet that I think a lot of folks might have expected we would. Let me start in Virginia, where 80% of the vote is now in. And Kamala Harris, you see, is ahead here by about 2.5 points in the count. But again, in 2020, this is a 10-point state for Joe Biden over Donald Trump. What's changed tonight? Where has Trump made progress in Virginia? Take a look here, Loudoun County. This is one, if you remember that governor's race in Virginia in 2021 when Glenn Youngkin won, we talked an awful lot about Loudoun County, suburbs, exurbs of Washington, D.C., just lightning fast growth here. Biden won this thing by 25 points. It's been getting leaps and bounds more Democratic. Look what happened in Loudoun County tonight. What had been a 25-point win for Joe Biden comes down to a 16-point win. And again, Trump needs to be improving to win Virginia, on average by about 10 points in these counties. He comes very close to it there in Loudoun County. Take a look, Prince William County. This is a very densely populated and a very diverse county. Again, significant Hispanic population. Biden won this by 27. Down to 18 points tonight, just about all in there in Prince William County. Virginia Beach, we still have a lot of vote to come in Virginia Beach. And this is one, this is where Joe Biden won by 5. This is one when Glenn Youngkin became governor. He flipped and won. And Trump right now leading this by 6 points. Again, that would be an 11-point shift here. There's a lot of areas here, that Trump would still need to do even better in if he were actually going to overtake Harris here. But the fact that it's this late at night and Trump has made gains that have held this so much so far, it's significant. It's part of why that popular vote is maybe a bigger lead this hour than you thought Trump would have. Bigger reason, though, is this. This is why I raised it. New York, look, it's been called. Harris is going to win New York.
Of course.
Her margin is 12 points. Check this out. In 2020, it was 23 points for Joe Biden. With nearly 90% of the vote in, Harris is only winning this by 12 points. Now, first of all, from a national popular vote perspective, Biden won this state by 2 million votes in 2020. The margin isn't yet 1 million, and we're getting close to all the vote in New York. And I want to zoom in a little bit closer here because I think this is significant. Let's look at New York City itself, the 5 boroughs of New York City. They're
shout out
each
to
their
the
own
New
individual
Yorkers.
county. And let me just show you what's happened here. Overwhelming Democratic city. Manhattan, the most liberal county in New York, a portion of New York, 86-12, a 74-point Biden win, down to 63. Trump's made double-digit gains in Manhattan. Take a look at
What?
Queens. 45-point Joe Biden win in 2020, down to 24, a 20-point net gain so far for Donald Trump in Queens, New York. Take a look over at Brooklyn. 55 has come down to 43. Staten Island's very small population-wise. It is the Republican borough of New York City. And you can see even there, though, Trump has gained a net of about 20 points with just about all the vote in there. And again, I flag that because we are seeing it in New York. Trump's gains with Hispanic voters, working class Hispanic voters. You're seeing it in New York City. It's being reflected in that statewide vote here, which has come down significantly. And even if you go across the Hudson River into New Jersey.
Oh, we got
New
Jersey
has
numbers.
85% of the vote tallied. We have not yet called it. Now, Kamala Harris is ahead here by nearly 200,000 votes. But again, contrast this to New Jersey in 2020. This was a 16-point state. Tonight, it is a 5-point race with 85% of the vote tallied. The margin here in 2020 was about 800,000 votes for Joe Biden. Tonight, it hasn't yet cracked 200,000. Again, that has potential national popular vote implications for those who are tracking that. But I wanted to point out New Jersey. Again, we see Harris is in pretty good shape to win the state. But take a look at Hudson County. Hudson County, just across there, this is where Union City, New Jersey is, for instance. It's 80% Hispanic. A lot of small, densely populated cities in Hudson County with large Hispanic populations. Joe Biden won here by 46 points. Tonight, it's 28 points. This is basically it in Hudson County, from 46 to 28. This is one of those giant core Democratic counties, New Jersey, the Democratic Party relies on. That's a massive, massive shift. And again, that speaks to Trump's gains, it really would seem, with Hispanic voters. So again, those are some of the states here that have bearing on the national popular vote. We saw the polls nationally much tighter than before. We wondered if Trump was going to narrow the margin in some of those big states. That is what we're seeing. I did want to follow up on Wisconsin, too, now getting close to 70% of the vote in. And yes, we were just talking about Dane and the question of what was left and could the Democrats here hit that margin that they got out of 2020. And it's true. OK, well, here we go. Now we're up to 95%. So we just, since I checked in a few minutes ago, we got more. We're getting close to all of the vote in Dane County, 163,000. That's the Harris margin in Dane County, 163,000. In 2020, that was about 182,000. 182, 163. We'll see if there's any more votes to come. But when that hits 95%, there usually aren't. So again, if anything like that holds, boy, Democrats want to be at that number. This is where they've improved their performance every time for 4 years. Where Democrats have improved tonight, where Harris has improved, or it looks like she will, not much to come in Waukesha. Big county, 400,000 people live here. One of those wow counties right outside Milwaukee. And here again, Trump got, basically 60%, 60 to 39. Trump falling a point here so far. Harris rising a point.
Republicans have taken the House.
Democrats in a very big county.
Almost.
Take a look here at Ozaukee County. And again, this one, now we got about 3/4 of the vote in. And Trump is running a bit above, not much, basically level with his 2020 number. Again, this is one where Democrats want to get a couple points better, see what happens with that remaining vote. And we talked at the start of the night about, we say the wow counties and the bow counties here, Brown County, Outagamie County, Winnebago County, mid-sized cities along sort of the Fox River, Lake Winnebago. These are all counties that Donald Trump won in 2020, but with reduced margins. Is he returning to 2016 levels, or is he back at 2020 level? So Outagamie County here, again, this is where the city of Appleton is. In 2016, when Trump won Wisconsin, he won this county by about 13 points. In 2020, when he lost Wisconsin, it was a 10-point margin. And tonight, as you can see, 67%. It's back at that 13-point spread right now. Now, again, votes still to come in Outagamie County. But I only flag this because
New Mexico just went to Harris
tonight, where Trump is returning to 2016 levels. These aren't always dramatic shifts, but Wisconsin's a state. When Trump won it, it was by 20,000 votes. When Biden won it, it was by 20,000 votes. So these kinds of differences can make all the difference. See what happens with the remaining vote there. But that's something we've been seeing in other places in this northern tier of the battleground all through the night. Again, now up near 70%. It's very close here, about 67,000 votes. More to come out of those wow counties. And we'll see if there's anything left there in Dane. But if that number doesn't move, that's a little bit below, I think, where Democrats wanted to be there.
Harris is up to 192, guys. She just got New Mexico, according to the AP. Kornacki's a little behind. Trump's at 230. 192 to 230. 270 to the White House. He's got North Carolina, just went to him. New Mexico, Oregon, Washington, just went to Miss Harris. Still waiting on a few key battleground states. What's still shaded? We have nothing from Nevada. They don't even have New Mexico on their screen yet, but it's blue. Arizona's still up in the air. Shaded states: Arizona, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Virginia, Maine, New Hampshire, but Maine and New Hampshire can't really count because they're definitely going to be low. So really, it is seven states. Shout out to me, AV to the 7th power. 7 states. Nothing from Hawaii, nothing from Alaska, nothing from Nevada. The night is young, but almost still done. Let me come back to our supers while we wait to hear back from Mr. Cornack. I think we left off at LaShawn. Thank you so much, sis. She says, we wash greens in the kitchen sink, no bathtub. The bright side said, I grew up in the country. My mom washed greens in a steel tub, but we didn't take a bath in that tub. Hell no. No food in the bathroom. That's right. Thank you so much, Deb Brightside. Sean with the 2 says, what if Biden and Glanville were never recused? Wow. Can you guys imagine a YSL case with Glanville still on it? Brian Steele would be in jail. Young Thug would be represented by Keith Adams, which is good representation. Lil Woody would still be doing his thing. Interesting. If Biden's still in office right now, has anybody seen him? We're talking about presidential candidates. Where is Biden? Interesting. Thank you, Sean. Shout out to the True American Crime Collective with the 5 says, anyone doing election trading? Kamala is at 11 cents right now. I'm tempted to snag some shares at a discount. I'm so done. Thank you, True American Crime Collective. Let me know if you have a YouTube channel. Moose dropped a 20. It says Fani winning just shows how much voters know about their candidates or care. Some folks don't think past the red, blue, good, other color bad. This is true. Thank you, Moose, again. So great to see you on this election night. Hope the girls are doing great. Anything but the norm drops a 10, says, I know you was live. Great work. Thank you, sis. I appreciate that. Long night for us over here, but a good one. YSL BZ Carleone with the 5 says, checking in from Indiana. If Trump wins, Fani gonna shit herself because her career over for that little finesse she tried to pull in court with him. Interesting. Thank you, Carleone, Mr. Carleone. Mark the paralegal, thank you so much for calling North Carolina for us. He hits me with the 5, says, you're killing the game right now. Keep up the good work. Yes, guys, this is my 3rd live stream of the day. Keeping y'all informed. It's an important day. Election day is important. So thank you guys so much for voting, hanging out with me, watching the results. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate you. Real Savage with the 2 says, you are not slurring, keep grinding. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what that lady was talking about. And if I was, like, I'm just being honest, guys. I did 3 streams today. You try it and tell me if you're not going to be tired at the end. Thank you, Real Savage. Do you fish? You should check out Money Bass's channel. He's down there on Lake Lanier, which isn't it not haunted? I don't know. Is Lake Lanier haunted, guys, for those of y'all in Georgia? How many of you guys fish? Where's the fishermen and women? Let us know if you fish. Deshonda says, don't listen to the negativity, AV. We appreciate you. And I appreciate you, Deshonda. Thank you so much. Oh, y'all hold me up when people get mean. Nurse Jenny with the 10 says, girl, I hear your accent and it makes me smile. It's not slurring. It's being a nation of different people that come together when it counts. That's right. And that's it. Like, I'm not asking you guys who you voted for, blah, blah. Like, I could do that, but I'm choosing not to. In fact, photo shoot we did on Sunday, I made it balance where I wore a red suit and a blue suit. So you can identify with me or you cannot. But either way, I identify with my people. Ooh, so they're finally catching up. What is it? What are they doing right now? What is that? New Mexico? Karnacki, we already know that New Mexico is blue. Catch up. Catch up, Cornac. Zay with the 10 says, whoever gifted me a membership, I want to personally appreciate you. Thank you, I was going to call you Kornacki. Thank you, Zay. I appreciate you. Very nice. Very nice of you for that. The Scarlet with the 2 says, love you, AB. You deserve a drink or two. I deserve sleep. Like, if Lee streams tomorrow, I'm probably going to show up late. Definitely going to get some sleep after this. Thank you, the Scarlet. Shout out to Grammy with the 5 says, what I love about this family is that we can be diverse in opinions and still be respectful. I love that too, Grammy. Me too. Little Gaming Channel with the 10 says, if Trump is elected president, what are you going to do in the morning? Little Gaming Channel, is that a baby? Aw. Is that your baby or a baby in your family? Either way, the baby is cute. What am I gonna do in the morning? I'm gonna sleep for a little bit. Actually, I'm gonna show up to lead stream very late, and he could run it and do research and all of that. And it's when it's my time to talk, Little Gaming Channel, just because if he wins, I'm just gonna be like, whenever I want to speak on his stream. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a good night on the West Coast. Cornac, you got that stance. What are you doing? What are you doing, Cornac? Pennsylvania, what's happening? He's checking a few things. Shout out to Dear Miss Injustice with the 2 says, Trump, fire Fani, and pardon thugs, damn parole. Yeah, give the guy a break here. You know what I love about Dear Miss Injustice's photo? Do you guys remember the nail-biting man that we've never seen again in the YSL trial? That's her profile picture. I just noticed that. Thank you, Dear Miss Injustice. Anthony with the 2 says, Southwest Virginia. Virginia has now been... Oh, shoot! Oh, my God. Virginia is now blue. Harris is at 205. Trump is at 230. Virginia just went blue. I just looked at this screen because you said that, Anthony. Harris is blue. Oh, my God, guys. We're running out of states. Harris is at 205. Trump is at 230. You need 270 to get the White House. Where are we close? Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Arizona, and then you have 3. We're down to 6. Wow, this is getting tight. 205 and 230. Her numbers are about to jump up. This is getting very, very close. Wow, guys. I love Google. YouTubers are faster than news people, apparently. Interesting. Let me look at all states. So Virginia just got called. 82% reporting, but the 13 electoral votes are going to Harris. Thank you, Anthony. Dub Bright Side with the 5 says, quick side note, I saw little Woody on the corner while visiting my aunt at Grady randomly, and my son said, hey, Daddy, it's Woody. We all know who he is. Hey, Daddy, it's Woody. I love that. Tell your son we said hello in the morning. TLGC with the 10 said, Black folks, the reason why he keeps saying Hispanic voters is because you are predictable and they know how you will vote. That's sad, but tell the truth and shame the devil. I'm so done. Leave it to TLGC to tell y'all the truth about something. Come on, Kornacki, catch up. We're seeing it over here. 205, 230. Give us the numbers. You got Trump's numbers right, but Harris should be at 205. Bob with the 2 says AV. Pennsylvania. Yes, that's still out. Wisconsin. Yep, still a wild card right now. Michigan. Still a wild card right now. Arizona. Still a wild card right now. Nevada. Yes, you are absolutely right, Bob. Over to you, Bob. You should be my co-host, Bob. Thank you. Spot on. Thank you so much for the super chat. Michelle became a new member. Welcome, Michelle. You're going to love it here. D, the Virgo with the 5 says, thank you, AV. We appreciate your time. Thank you. I appreciate that, D. And thank you so much for gifting memberships earlier. Yeah, guys, 1,400 of you in here watching the election with me. We're being nerds, being nosy. What's happening with Georgia? That's what I want to know. I want to know. But one of you guys said that absentee ballots got extended to next week. Like, what is that? Meta with the 2 says, I'm trading the futures market and it's a bag. Meta in the crypto world. Come on, PA for Harris. Some of you guys want PA for Harris. Thank you so much, Danielle. Appreciate you. Only for Cobb. He's going back to Pennsylvania, guys. 11:48 Eastern Standard Time. Doing super well tonight with the states reporting. Ooh, variant, stop. Stop, variant. Don't. Oh, Dub is saying Georgia's Trump. Mom plus Kids TV said, ugh. Shout out to Night Train. Night Train, what happened in New York? I mean, it's blue. It's a blue state, but they said in New York City, you know, the Democrats lost some votes. What's going on? Ooh, we got colors. We got colors in Vegas, in Nevada, one of my favorite places. Danielle, are you in Boston? You in Boston? It's 70 degrees up here today. Do you know when I took this goddamn photo shoot on Sunday, it was 54 degrees at the JFK Library. No, it was 34 degrees at the JFK Library. I just got back from Georgia, got off a plane, had to put on the Canada Goose. You know the thing with the fur? I had to put on that coat. And then you guys didn't, you couldn't tell because when I was taking pictures, I took the coat off. This weather is terrible, Daniel. I can't wait to go back to Georgia. Night Train says Trump is from New York. That's right. I have friends that used to like babysit his kids and things. Now he's a Floridian. You know what I'm talking about, Mars, the Canada Goose? You know what I'm talking about. Drew Beats with 5 says, if Trump lose, I'm leaving Vegas or the U.S. to be a passport bro. I mean, at least you're being honest about it. Like, you know, Drew Beats is going to be a passport bro if this doesn't work out in the state of Nevada. We got a few counties being shaded in over there. Guys, look at Georgia. We got 2 more left. Kornacki's like, uh-oh. 2 more left in Georgia, guys. Georgia, 92% of the total vote in, even though people are calling Georgia red. Ooh. How to says Kornacki crashing out. Someone get him more coffee. He is. Wow, Fox is saying that Republicans now control the Senate. Let me do an update on the Senate. Yes, that is confirmed, guys. The United States Senate is now up to 50 seats. They gained 2 seats. They have not the majority, but they gained 2 seats from the Democrats, and they are at 50. That means if anything else is gained, they will have the majority of the Senate. You have a Republican-led Senate. We're calling that. That is something that we can call. Ooh, guys, this is intense. This is so intense, guys. Oh my God, and shout out to Michelle, who's from checking in from Australia. Thank you so much, Michelle. She says, wow, loving the coverage. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much, Michelle. This is my 3rd live stream today. And let me just, what is the major city? And let's say Sydney. Current time in Sydney, Australia. I don't know if this is your current time, Michelle, but in Sydney. Guys, Australia, it's 3:43 p.m. over there. It's the afternoon. Trump is at 2:40. Stop. Is he at 2:47? Oh my God. No. Who said he? Where'd you get that, Amber? I still see him at 2:30. But thank you so much, Michelle. That was very sweet of you. One of our favorite Aussies checking in from down under. Appreciate you, sis. Oh, here we go. Here we go. What are we calling? What you got, Kornacki? Or did they just cut the music and not realize it? All right. They might have just cut the music and not realized it. They're not muted, right? No, I don't have him muted. Oh, there it is. Pen in the mouth, texting, calling GA for Trump. Thank you so much, Mr. Mustachio. That's probably what it is, because if they're calling Georgia from for Trump, and maybe they just haven't caught up yet. Georgia has how many? It has 16 electoral college votes, so that would make sense. Some of you guys have been reporting that Georgia is going to be called for, or at least some officials have been saying that. They're at 93% reporting, according to the AP. They haven't called this race yet. It's a key race, 16 electoral votes on the line, but Donald Trump is leading the state of Georgia. Popular vote at 2.6 million. Kamala Harris at 2.4 million of total votes. Chase Oliver, who's a libertarian, at 20,000 votes. Jill Stein, Green Party, at 17,000 votes. That is your vote for the presidency. It looks like we are likely going to get a result in Georgia very soon, especially if people are calling it. Per Fox, Trump is at 232. AP is what I'm using. They're at 230. MSNBC is what we're watching. They're at 230. Ooh, guys, this is so intense. This is very intense. Thank you so much, guys, for your reporting on this one. Always helpful. I'm just going to make sure. Okay. Our volume with Kornacki is still there. They're having some audio issues. But thank you again to Michelle in Australia checking in and having an interest in this race. Shout out to Say Less, Do More with the 5, says raised in New York, moved to Texas. Talk about Crips and Bloods. I'm torn. I love that. Say less, do more. I mean, that's actually what it is. I'm kind of like you. Being born and raised in Massachusetts, it's a blue state. You know, I will say that Georgia has been more of a mixed blend, purple in a sense, but it has been great to meet people from all different walks of life in Georgia and see how that can be different. Why is Trump's popular vote in Pennsylvania so high right now? Do y'all see that on the screen? That is significantly high. What is going on there? He's almost at 3 million votes. Kornacki looks happy. He looks really happy to report something. No music. No music. No music. No music. Okay. Kornacki is scratching his neck. Yeah, I mean, he is making us all nervous. He has this high energy. Look at his face. Look at this. Like, call it. Call it. We see 230. Have you guys updated? Have you guys updated Kornacki? We don't know. No music. Yeah, guys, something's happening in Pennsylvania. That might be the next one. We still haven't heard anything officially from Georgia, but I think Pennsylvania and Georgia are the ones that are about to go next. 204 to 247. Jeez, that means it's Pennsylvania and Georgia. We're about to get numbers on that. I mean, listen, fun time. I love this guy. My sister almost got me a Kornacki mug. Like, what do they call him? Kornacki the daddy or something like that. Like, I don't know, Big Daddy Kornacki. Because everybody's like, he's just a man. I mean, when it comes to elections, this is just what he does. Strapped up, batteries in the back. We're gonna go till 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, this is what happens. Is he ready to call Georgia, dude? Come on. Was it put up for sale yesterday, Eric? Kornacki's and khakis. Kornacki's and khakis. That makes sense. Kornacki's and khakis. It's so intense at MSNBC that they have taken down the music. Now, here's the thing. They're still behind. They still have Kamala at 185. She got a few states over here. She got Virginia. I don't know if they counted Oregon. She should be at 205. So they have her numbers wrong. We need to see what's going on. I'm going to refresh to make sure. Oh, there's music. There's music. All right, well, we got music. Carrie says she's so terrified. I can't wait to see what happens. Few states left, guys. Why they haven't called Maine? Why they haven't called New Hampshire, Vermont? Actually, Maine and New Hampshire, like, just call it blue. You know, we see New Jersey. His is still, on my side, I see New Jersey. It's still shaded gray over there. They don't have that one yet. I'm over here rocking like the judge about to read my sentence. The music really doesn't mean much. Trump is up in Maine, only 29% in. Yeah, like Maine, I got 32% for Maine. New Hampshire is 76%. Pennsylvania, 83. We're staring at it. Kornacki, give us an update. Give us an update on Pennsylvania. Michigan, allegedly 45%. Wisconsin, 75%. Georgia, 93%. Georgia. Arizona's at 50%. Let me come to some more super chats while we wait. Okay, let me not mute it, but turn it down. Shout out to EB with the 5 says, I'm truly terrified if Kamala does not win. He has threatened all of our freedoms. I've considered selling my home and leaving the country. Oh my gosh, EB.
Okay, let's take a look at Pennsylvania, where you had Jacob there a few minutes ago setting up what probably any minute now we're going to see out of Philadelphia. And that is, he says, about 50,000 vote by mails. The results going to be released in Philadelphia. Of course, that is the most Democratic friendly, overwhelmingly Democratic vote. So when that gets reported, we want to see what it does. This margin for Harris right now in Philadelphia sits at 305,000. Remember, ultimately, Democrats are hoping tonight to get that in the neighborhood of 500,000 votes. Got a long way to go with a little bit more than 2/3 of the vote in. And again, the context for this is where things stand in Philadelphia right now is that Trump is running so far 4 points above where he finished in 2020. Again, let's see. This mail update is going to be huge because how much do these numbers change? Democrats want to be above and need to be above this Biden level and be getting that plurality close to 500,000 because of what else we're seeing right now and what's coming even in the last few minutes in Pennsylvania. And let me just show you what that is. A couple things. We said put a pin in Luzerne County where Wilkes-Barre is, where Hazleton is. That's a majority, almost 70% Hispanic city. We now have all the vote in Luzerne County. Donald Trump is going to win this by a little bit more than 21 points. Compare this to 4 years ago, it was 14. Theme, but it's important. Trump's gains with Hispanic voters. You're absolutely seeing it here in Luzerne County. He's going to win this by more than 20 votes. That's a significant jump for him. His campaign said he was going to do that. They did do that here. We also saw him make those gains in Lackawanna County, right next door.
Real quick, Steve Kornacki is very behind. I just want to give you guys a projection. Hawaii has now gone to Kamala Harris. She is at 209. Kamala Harris is at 209. Trump is at 230. That just came in about a minute ago. Kornacki is going to tell us a little bit more about Pennsylvania. Let's keep going.
As Philadelphia, Lebanon County here too. All the vote is in. Again, Democrats wanted more Trump, more of a Trump drop off here. They don't get it in Lebanon County tonight. And we showed you Cumberland County, I believe, earlier, but also in this region, also a place Democrats wanted gains, also a place where really they're not getting it tonight. Look inside the collar counties here, just outside Philadelphia. These are huge population dense counties. And I'll flag a couple things. We got almost all the vote in Delaware County right now. Of these core collar counties, this is the most Democratic. It's the most diverse, most blue collar of these these three, of Delaware, of Chester, of Montgomery. Now, in 2020, Joe Biden won here by essentially 27 points. Getting close to all the vote in here right now, and it sits at about 24.5. Not Harris, not at the Biden level. And keep in mind, again, this is very clear in Pennsylvania right now. Generally in these counties, the vote by mail is all reported out early, and what remains is this same day vote that's Republican leaning. So in all these counties, you just see Trump incrementally improving with each update. And Harris is now almost 2 points under where Joe Biden got in this core Democratic county 4 years ago. Next door in Chester County. Now, this is more significant drop off for Harris from Biden, but Chester County, unlike just about every other county in Pennsylvania, they are waiting until the end of the night, they say, to release their vote by mail. So let's see when the vote by mail comes in in Chester County, if Harris can get back and surpass that 58. But there is also same day vote coming in that is helping Trump here. Next door in Montgomery County, this is just an enormous suburban county. And again, we've got the vote by mail. We're waiting on the same day. And already Harris is now running a point behind where Joe Biden finished in this county in 2020. Go up to Bucks. Bucks here, it's a little bit different. It's more blue collar, certainly, than Chester and Montgomery. It's more of a swing county. And again, now about half the vote is in here. Biden won this by 4.5 points in 2020. Trump has now taken the lead in Bucks County. It's tiny, but he's taken the lead. And again, this theme in counties like Bucks County and these more blue-collar counties throughout the northern tier of the battleground, you're seeing it. This was such a close race in 2016. Democrats made a significant jump here in 2020, and Trump is sort of rolling back the clock to 2016. So far, you're seeing that in Bucks County as well. We also said in Allegheny County, Pittsburgh, in those inner suburbs, huge Democratic area. We're coming close to all the vote in, 94%. We are super close right now. And again, let me just show you. In 2020, Biden essentially got 60%. And your Harris is very close to that, but she's not quite at that level. And Democrats won her over 60% here. Given everything I'm showing you about these Trump gains, especially in these counties with significant Hispanic populations, it becomes essential for Democrats that Harris in these areas overperform where Joe Biden did in 2020. Now, there may be some vote by mail ballots left, we're told, in Allegheny County, but we're talking about maybe 1,000, something like that. Very small amount, nothing on the order of what you've got there in Philadelphia. So again, this is a place where Democrats want big gains. And frankly, the way this is playing out tonight, need big gains, given everything else I just showed you. Reset it, 85% of the vote now in Pennsylvania, about 170,000 vote difference. Seeing, as in case it came in there, it did. There you go. That vote by mail update, it looks like, came in Philadelphia as we were going through this. And you can see, look at that Harris margin, how much that jumped. Basically up to 350,000. And there is, as Jacob said, another batch of mail that's going to be reported out tomorrow morning. So another jump like this expected to come that did knock Trump's number down, that did knock his percentage down to 20.8. It was at about 22 before. But again, he is still running 3 points north of where he was in Philadelphia back in 2020. So let's see that final. It's going to be a while till that final vote by mail update. But this one took Trump down a notch, but it didn't take him back to the level Democrats want him at there. And we can just take a trip down quickly to Georgia, because we've got some more counties that have basically filled in Georgia. Now 93% of the vote. And you do see that margin for Trump has come down a little bit. It's just under 120,000 votes, his lead statewide. Not a lot of votes left here, but one place we finally got clarity in here is Gwinnett County. This is a giant one, more than 1 million people in that core Atlanta metro area. Not all, but almost all the votes here right now. And again, let me just show you. It was 18 points for Joe Biden in 2020. Right now, about 16.5 for Harris. This has been the trajectory. Clinton won this thing by only about 6. Margin exploded for Democrats in 20, and they wanted it to take that next step forward in 2024, again, to offset what has been one of the stories tonight. We don't really show it because these counties are all so individually small, but I could just take you through dozens of counties that you see in red here where it's a Trump gain of 2 points, of 3 points, of 2 points, of 3 points, and you add those all together and put them together. That's a big reason why Trump has amassed this lead statewide. We've also got a little bit more in now out of DeKalb County. You know, some of this county here is inside the perimeter, large black population, large population of college-educated white voters. Not quite Harris hitting that number that Biden hit here in 2020. Massive win for here, but not quite hitting it. Still some votes to come, though. Democrats want to get more, desperately need more out of there. They would desperately need more out of, this is this is as core Democratic a county as you get. And again, Harris basically level, but a tick under where Joe Biden was in 2020. Not much to come. Democrats need every vote they could possibly get out of there. So again, you reset it statewide, seeing if anything changed. 118,000 votes. That's the Trump margin right now. And I'll just check to see if anything changed dramatically in Pennsylvania. 166,000, 85%. And you see what the lay of the land looks like there right now.
Oh my God, guys, it's still very tight. What are we seeing? The updates from Kornacki. The updates that we just got are that Pennsylvania would probably, I don't know why this state gets to do this. It's like almost every election. Pennsylvania, we're not going to get some of these tallies until tomorrow. So we can count Pennsylvania out as an outlier. It looks like Georgia's very, very close to calling it. Many people are calling it for Georgia. I haven't seen it for the AP yet. But it looks like we're super, super close in Georgia. Pennsylvania has just got a dump of mail-in ballots. And I don't say that like, you know, trying to be funny or anything. A lot of people decided to vote early, and they decided to do that with mail-in ballots. Now, what happens when you have mail-in ballots is you do need to count them and process them. So the state of Pennsylvania is still processing those mail-in ballots. They do have more that are not supposed to be completed until tomorrow morning. So we can count out Pennsylvania. They're going to give us our projections, but what we just saw from that is from the mail-in ballots. Ms. Kamala Harris did get a huge uptick in those mail-in ballots. So that's why I think we should probably take Pennsylvania off the board today. Pennsylvania, what's at stake? You have 19 electoral college votes. So it is a pretty important state because you have it pretty heavy. Also looking at the screen, I noticed that he does not have New Jersey filled in. According to the AP, that should be blue. It is Kamala's with 14 votes. Something else just came in because she just went from 209 to 210. So I don't know what just happened. Maybe it was Rhode Island, Delaware, something small. She just, Connecticut, Rhode Island, something. I don't know. Harris is now at 210 with the Trump at 230. So let's take Pennsylvania off the board. Georgia's going to be everything because that's another 16 electoral college votes. That will put Trump at 246 if he gets it tonight. Hawaii, again, that was 4 votes and it went over to Harris. So Hawaii has been called for Harris and MSNBC hasn't called that one yet. So we still got a few battleground states. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, which we're not going to complete today, Georgia, Arizona, Alaska. Their projection is at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in about 40 minutes, we'll hear from them a little bit more, 47 minutes. I don't know what's going on with Nevada. What do you guys do? Like Vegas is down there, Reno's down there. What's going on, Nevada? Arizona is red right now on this board. Trump is leading, but not by a lot. In Arizona, Trump has 913,000 votes. Kamala Harris has 904,000 votes. So a little bit of, it's not super tight, but it's enough. It's enough of a bump for him to be leading in that state. 50% reporting. Interesting. Let me come back to our super chats here while we're waiting for Mr. Kornacki to give us another update. Thank you again to EB for the last one. Shout out to Full Drinking and Half Thinking with its hands as we dealing with some shit. Still gang, still a love tang. We will be back soon. Thank you for the well wishes and support. AV, hold it down. Trinidaddy, flying home. All right, it looks like Full Drinking and Half Thinking. We haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything is all good. Thank you for joining us on this election day as we're making history on YouTube, reporting, having a watch party. All good, all fun. Hope everything is well and that you guys are okay. Let us know if you need anything. Shout out to Ginger Ninja with 2, says Trump 2024. Make YSL great again here in San Diego. Thank you. Interesting that you're in San Diego. California went straight to Harris. We knew that though, because she's from there. She's from there. So thank you so much, Ginger Ninja. Say let's do more with the 2. Says AV, you're so damn fine, sleepy and all. I am a little sleepy, but this is worth it. This is worth it. Thank you so much. Say let's do more. Norman with the 10. No comment, no question. You're a love of the game. Thank you. Thank you, Norman. It is actually history, Bob, isn't it? We've got Trump in North Carolina. We got that one. We've called North Carolina for Trump. From what I can see as of 12:15 Eastern Standard Time, 2:10 Harris, 2:30 Trump, 2:70 to the White House. All it takes is Georgia to put one of these guys over the edge. Michigan too. Pennsylvania will get tomorrow. What are y'all trying to start a riot in the chat? What's happening? Corey, you want me to leave the stream open? Too funny. No, I'm here, guys. I am here. I do have a few Cash Apps. I'm going to come to my Cash App squad. Shout out to, I know he's not here, but shout out to Ollie. I just got a confirmation email because I bought a few candles from his wife's business. They just shipped out. Shout out to Ollie. Shout out to Steven, who sends me $2. Steven says, North Carolina love. Thank you. A few emails from some of you guys. Shout out to Dub right side with the 10. Thank you, Dub. He says, don't sweat the BS, sis. Keep cooking. I am. I'm cooking with the grease, with the olive oil, you know, doing my thing over here. Lots of emails from you guys. Shout out to Rob Rosen with the 10. Says, AV, do not let anyone muzzle you, especially on your own platform. There's way more love in the chat than negative, opinionated people. It's easier to spot it, but you're rocking it today. Thank you. This is my 3rd stream in one day. This is a record for me. Huge record. Just checking other side, 210, 230, still up to date. Thank you so much. Shout out to Mango Gelato at the 10. Says, you do you and kill the haters with kindness. That's what I do. Or I just block them. That seems to work pretty well too, Mango Gelato. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. One of you guys just booked a consultation. Awesome. Cool. This is great. This is great. Everybody's like, we love you, AV, but Trump has won Georgia. I just want to call it official. I want to see the official. As soon as it's official, we'll call it. But let me come over to see where they at with reporting. Oh, it's still 93% with 2 counties missing in Georgia. A few of you guys dropping some more love here. Lee! Oh my God, Lee, hi. What is it? You're waking up right now. Do you have coffee? What kind of coffee do you have in the UK? Can you make me some? She says, AV, thanks for the hours you put in. Hit the like button, please. And she has been a member for 2 months. Thank you. It's good to see you, Lee. Lee Slime. Lee Slime has entered the chat. YSL Lee. Erin Olivia has been a member for 2 months. It says, go, AV, go, AV, go. Yeah, we're here. We're just waiting on some projections. Do you guys want to go to some other platforms? You guys are saying Kamala's sneaking up, keeping an eye on the AP. I think it's still 210, 230. Show all states. Yeah, 210, 230. I still can't believe that Fani won. I mean, I knew she was going to win because the support out there is crazy. Do I agree? No, because I've been a victim of a crime. I just want somebody to solve my crime. Can we solve my crime? We're over here paying juries $25 a day to solve other people's crimes. What about I'm a victim. Help. Somebody robbed me. Why didn't we look into that? Y'all didn't believe me. I'm so sad. So sad. So, I mean, no shade against Fani. Like, I do see some of the corruption, some of the things that have happened in Fulton County, and I think they need to clean that up. But as a victim of a crime that paid a lot of money in tax dollars, I just want my money back. Crazy Chris is like, who robbed you? Somebody in Fulton County. Oh my God, what's happening, Kornacki? I need whatever he has in his cup. He's got 2 cups. The shenanigans. It does have me lagging. I'm like, just finish it. Finish him. Finish it. Yeah, it's probably water, Queen Bee. I think he's got coffee in the mug and then just water to keep him hydrated. But he has been chugging and staying hydrated the entire time. We are focusing a lot more into Wisconsin. He keeps zooming in over there. We know we're not going to get anything out of Pennsylvania today. Definitely zooming in into Wisconsin. Let me see where they are. Keep up with him. They are 78% reporting, so I can understand why he keeps poking around over there. I mean, their reporting's pretty good compared to what I see here on the AP. They have a more complete picture of Wisconsin than I do, so that's interesting. No, I didn't get robbed by Tick. It wasn't Tick. Yeah, for those that came in late, I lived in Fulton County, and I think it was a family friend, somebody that just kind of came over and got a tour and saw what I had in the house. They took what my Saint Laurent bag, my YSL bag. They took my YSL shoes, some shoes that I wore once, and they took Dior sneakers. What else? Oh, they took a Dior purse, but it's like it was sitting next to Hermes stuff. So they just basically went shopping in my closet. Took like $5,000 worth of stuff. I called it in. Police officers really didn't believe me, thought I was trying to do an insurance scam, but it's just like, why would I fake something like this? I worked really hard to purchase those nice things for myself. They were not gifts. I bought them myself. Some of them were like, you know, accomplishments, work promotions, things like that, ways for myself to celebrate me. And like, they were like, oh yeah, people do insurance fraud all the time with their apartments and things. And I was just like, really? The hell would I need to do that for? I don't have time. There is no TiVo time, Michelle, unfortunately. This is all live and it is lagging. They have 189 for Miss Harris and she's at 210. And the Republicans, not even Republicans, but Donald Trump has 230. That is the latest number I have. Tick robbing women. Did I see somebody mention that? Yeah, 210, 230. Usually these things stall out, but I'll probably go until 1 a.m. my time. Desmond says, AV, we watch that trial every day. And at the end, the DA let the defendants know that they cannot run for public office being a felon. Yet here we are, America. I don't know if you guys watched the trial with me earlier. They're trying to end this trial for Yak and SB in a week. In a week. It's 216, 232. Yeah. Thank you, Tara. I am looking at AP, and they haven't updated their numbers yet. I bought these items, Michelle. I did. Is Elon tweeting like crazy? Bitcoin. Shout out to Cryptonomics, who's into crypto. He says that Bitcoin is over 74,000 K. Interesting. Good time to invest. For those of you guys that are in UK, if you're having any issues sending money, shout out to Nurse Janice. She found a way to do this. PayPal seems to work the best. I have all methods of how to support the show in the banner below, and we do include PayPal. Shout out to the Fit Lawyer. ATL, you still up too? She says, I still can't believe she stood up and said the state will close next week. Crazy. Can y'all believe that? After all this stuff with Young Thug, the wolf, the king of the pack, and the wolf of the pack. I'm tired. The leader of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the pack is the wolf. Or something crazy. You ain't never seen love since Young Thug has left the trial and they are like, hey, we're going to end the trial next week. Like, why were we even here? Why did we do this? What? Fit lawyer, oh my God. Okay, you're staying tuned. Thank you so much. The fit lawyer is just getting home. These are long days. We are watching. We're trying to see if we get any numbers. I want to see the Georgia numbers before I go to bed. Even if we leave it, I want to see Georgia numbers. Shout out to Carl who says, woo woo. Who did those? I said, woo woo. Who did those crimes to you, AB? Gonna have to hire a private investigator. Don't hire Squirrel Brain. Maybe Woody. Just have fun. Just having fun with you. Yeah, listen. Middle of Buckhead. Couldn't believe it. Middle of Buckhead. Somebody broke in, stole a bunch of stuff. I got ADT after that, and then I had to come back up here for, family stuff, school stuff. But next time, I'm not living in the city, I think. I'm not living in the city. It's too much. Okay, coming back to the Associated Press. Kamala Harris, 210. Trump, 230. Some of you guys are saying those numbers have been updated, but that is as of 12:27 Eastern Standard Time. I'm sorry it happened too, Tara. That's why I'm like, Fani, what do you do? What do you do to protect people? Crypto and Buckhead. What do you do? All right, Kornacki is on his phone, taking down notes feverishly. He's probably going to report on what's happening in Pennsylvania. Let me see who's close. So Pennsylvania, 86%. Of course, they have mail-in votes that are coming in tomorrow. Michigan, 52%. Wisconsin, 81%. Minnesota, still 59%. Georgia, 93%. But officials are calling Georgia red. Oh, some of y'all are like, drop the link. You want to come up? You want to come up on election day? Hold on. Invite. Copy. All right, guys, I'm going to drop the link. It really is because I'm exhausted. But I will drop the link to anyone who is interested in talking election with me. Let me find myself on this side. Let us know what you think about this whole, I was going to say, what you think about this case? It's not a case. Let me know what you think about what's going on with the election. Let me unpin this message, pin this message. That is the link if anybody wants to come up and talk about where we are. Let us know. I'm especially interested if you are in one of the battleground states that haven't been called yet. Super, super interested in that. New Mexico is going red is a projection. It has been called blue so far. Candy said, I went to sleep, y'all. Keep up the outstanding job. I did 3 streams today. Go to Georgia. Yeah. I'm running out of gas, y'all. Dub said, I'm coming. He's like, I'm on the way. Take your time, Dub. Are you going to be outside in the forest with no lights on? You know Lead hates that. Thank you guys for dropping all these things. Cash App, Venmos, things of the like. Y'all are amazing. We haven't heard from Kornacki in a while. Interesting. AV needs some no-dos. No-dos? Do we need no-dos? What's a no-do? I'm so tired. I can't think right now. Alabama, I'm trying. Okay, coming back over here. 210, 230. There's no movement. This does happen election year all the time. Like right when you're almost done, it just stops. And you're like, hurry up. I want to go to bed. What are you doing? Shout out to Michelle, who's been a member for 2 months. She asked if there was TiVo time. We do not have TiVo time. Shout out to our Rosen, who's been a member for a month, says, can we channel surf away from Kornacki? You're calling him corny. We can. Y'all want to go to a different platform? Let me see who else we have. Let's see if we have. Let's go to the BBC. What do they got? They're not even here. Why are we going to the BBC? This is how you know I'm tired. Let's go to Fox. Oh, is Trump talking right now? He is giving a speech, it looks like. Everybody has MAGA hats on. All right, let me see, because they also have another feed open for Kamala to give her remarks on election night. She was supposed to start at 11. She was supposed to start an hour ago and hasn't started yet. That's interesting. Coming back to our numbers here, they have not updated. Let's see. So we went to Fox. Let's go to ABC. I saw one of you guys say that ABC News had really good projections and numbers. They are also live. Elon, yeah, let's come to this one. Let's share this tab instead.
A post on X by Elon Musk. So you can see that was one of those more private gatherings that were taking place at Mar-a-Lago, what was described as sort of a war room there with the former president, some of his friends, colleagues, top donors, and top advisors and family members. But now, once again, as we're told, the former president is on his way here to West Palm Beach. David.
All right, Whit Johnson in West Palm Beach tonight. Whit, as soon as he gets there, you'll let us know. Let's go over to Eva Pilgrim. She's in Washington, D.C., Howard University. Eva, I gather the temperature of the evening has shifted there.
Quite remarkably, very different than what Whit is seeing there at the Trump campaign. You can see this was a very crowded area just a short time ago, when we last came to you. The crowd is leaving. They have been leaving for some time now. And, you know, the campaign is telling us that they still think that there is a chance that they can hold that blue wall, but there are a lot of nerves and a lot of reservations that people are having. We heard Whit talking about the fact that the former president is on his way to his campaign event. At last check just a moment ago, the vice president is still at the Naval Conservatory, which is the vice president's residence here in D.C., is not on her way here. And as you watch that crowd there shifting away, I mean, it has become dramatically smaller. People just waiting. We've heard repeatedly from the campaign that to tell staffers to go home, that they are not anticipating a result tonight, to get some sleep. But a major vibe shift.
Man, if that's what you're telling people.
The vibe is not good. And this is brutal for them, David.
Eva Pilgrim at Howard University tonight in Washington, D.C. Eva, thanks to you. We're going to focus here for a moment on Arizona. We haven't.
I think I heard, you know, yeah, maybe I'm just tired. You guys know that song? What is that song? Okay, yeah, I hear it, but like whatevs. Let's add somebody else up here. Shout out to Dub Brightside. How are you doing, brother?
What up, sis? What up?
My
What up?
God,
What up? Hey,
I'm so exhausted. How are you?
man, hey, look, you're gonna have to get some rest now. You can't be up all the time. But at the same time, we appreciate the hard work you put in. And it means a lot to us. It means a lot to us. And we love your analysis. We love it. We love it. You know what I'm saying? So keep doing your thing.
Who do you think, or how do you think the election is going to end up given the results that we've seen so far?
Hey, man, I got Trump, man. I think Trump, what it's looking like right now, it seems like he's going to win Georgia. I've seen reports that he's already won Georgia. I've seen those reports as well. Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania, you know, it's a toss-up, but you still got other swing states as far as Wisconsin, Minnesota. You got these other swing states out there. I didn't expect Trump to do as nearly as good as he's doing for the Republicans to flip the Senate. I didn't see that coming. I thought it would be I thought it more less be 50-50. And now it's looking like they may have a possibility to flip. Well, they already had control of the House, but may be able to gain seats in the House.
Yeah. It's insane.
But I will tell you, it scares me. And the reason it scares me is because I always like to have, if I got a Republican president and Senate, give me a Democratic House, right?
Yeah,
If
some
I got
balance.
right. Give me the balance. Give me the balance where you got to come and folks just ain't just pushing stuff through. And what we're seeing right now, it seems like it's going to be Republican everything. That's what it seems like.
Yeah.
That
is a tough
I
one.
don't know how I feel about that. So
yeah, I think that makes a lot of people uncomfortable anyway, because like at the end of the day, like you have these separations of powers for a reason, and you have to have the balance, even if there's a majority in the House or the Senate, you still have a minority, and the minority is there because you can't just have one party ruling everything. That's not going to help anybody.
And the last point is, at this current moment in time, it seemed like the Supreme Court, the courts, the judicial system are leaning more toward the Republican side. So now what you're looking at having is the legislation, you know what I'm saying, or the legislator, excuse me, Congress, the executive branch and the judicial branch all leaning to the same side. And when you have something like that, although, and I gotta see what happened. I gotta see how they. I want to hope, and I hope that everything is on the up and up. But when you have, I don't like to have imbalance like that. When you have stuff that gives leeway for individuals to do certain things and to push certain agendas without no resistance. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just hope that if I'm nervous, I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm nervous.
Well, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. We're gonna see.
We gotta see.
I'm gonna drop you down because I'm running out of gas very quickly.
Hey, sis, I want to tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
Man, damn these folks, man. Keep cooking, keep frying, keep doing what you're doing, and we love it and respect it and appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So, damn the naysayers. Look at how many people you got on your side.
Oh yeah.
You got plenty of people pushing that's behind you, man. I'm one of those people. So love you, sis, man. Keep doing your thing. And shout out to the chat, man. One of the greatest, if not the greatest chat. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the chat.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dub. Have a good one, bro. It was good to see you up here. Have a good night. And go inside. You outside? Are you outside on the porch?
I'm always on. Well, hold on. So I'm using on my computer, right? But the problem is I ain't got my camera set up the way I need it set up. So I can't show my face. So I was like, let me just go on, step out for a second and make sure I have my everything together.
Every time me and Lee talk to you, you're outside on this porch. And I'm like, why is he always outside?
I love it. This is my comfort zone.
Okay.
Being outside on the porch, that's my comfort zone.
It's raining. Oh, I think one time you had called us from a plane.
Hold on. We ain't got to go back to all that. Why are we talking about the family?
I'm tired.
I didn't want to do you.
They're just like coming back now, and it's just like, all right, this is how you know AV is sleepy.
Hey, love you, sis, man. Keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. You know how I feel.
Absolutely, Dub. Have a good one. It's good to see you. All righty. Bye. All right, y'all. Well, listen, we are waiting for some projections, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I am running on fumes. 3 streams in a day.
Dig into the numbers that we have so far on.
And
concern now that we're looking at the blue wall. Nobody wants to go to bed at night thinking we just got the blue wall. We saw how it was cracked. It wasn't cracked because really Donald Trump didn't hit anything.
Wow.
He kept the door open, and now we see that we have a situation where Philly's going to have to overperform.
246 for
but there are
Trump.
Places that are still coming in Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, Milwaukee will have to overperform. So yeah, there may be a narrow path, but I don't know if I have my rosary beads on me.
Yeah, Ryan's.
This is so far, it continues the trend, the wrong direction for Kamala Harris, the right direction for Donald Trump. Every one of these states is continuing to move in Donald Trump's column. This is shaping up to be a really big night, obviously.
Thank you,
for Donald
Jeremy.
Trump. It's not just a reset. I think it's more than that. It's a realignment. This isn't a victory because of better mechanics or, Trump had a better ground game. This is a matter of people making a decision, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian in this country, that you were tired of the open border. You were tired of hearing about how the economy is great when you didn't feel it. You're tired about the sanctuary cities. You're tired about all of these things that, some of it's economic, some of it's cultural, and people are making a conscious decision in this country to say, I've had enough of this stuff that I'm hearing from this other side of the aisle, and they're completely repudiating it and going the other direction. Look, we may have 55 senators tonight. It's possible.
Jesus.
And we still have Nevada and Arizona to go.
Okay. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, your girl is run out of gas. Like, I'm just out. Like, it's just, I tried to hang in there 3 streams in a day. I'm done. I've tried. I made it this far to 246 votes for Donald Trump. It looks like Georgia is flipping red. That's what ABC is saying. I don't see that on AP. I see 230 for Trump, but it looks like the 16 has come from Georgia that ABC is calling for Trump. We know that Fani Willis has been reelected tonight as well. Before we go, I want to give a huge shout out to the Fit Lawyer ATL with the 50. She says, for all the hard work today, thank you. This was fun. I've never done an election stream, and why not? It takes 4 years. 4 years to do this. So I was really happy to be able to vote to do this. We have so many fun pictures that my photographer and suit person and projects that we worked on. We have a ton of photos that are being edited right now that we want to share. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to see you in the next one. Stay safe out there. I did 3 streams today. It was a record. Never done it before. Keep watching. We will report on election content tomorrow. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you again, Fit Lawyer ATL. This is very, very thoughtful of you. Bye, y'all. Have a good night. See you soon.